Welcome to the fantasy audiobook. Naruto. I have Super Saiyan JinchuRiki inside me. Chapter 81. The battle between Sasuke and Kakashi continued from morning to afternoon, and finally Kakashi defeated Sasuke with his rich fighting experience. But after the battle, Kakashi looked like he was too indulgent and exhausted. This guy has too little mana, or the burden of Sharingan is too heavy for him. As long as Sharingan is pushed away, no matter how strong or weak the opponent is, it will end up like this. On the contrary, Sasuke, who lost the battle, didn't have a shit, just stood aside with his pocket in his pocket, looking sullen. Sasuke's speed and strength are higher than Kakashi's, but his combat experience is too different from Kakashi's. In addition, Kakashi is an all-round ninja, and hitting is just a normal fart. Food is food. Mr. Kakashi, have we passed the test? If not, we can continue tomorrow. With only half life left, Kakashi just wanted to rest now, waved his hand at Naruto, and then gave a thumbs up. Tomorrow is a day off. Single quote. Ms. Kakashi said we passed the test. However, Mr. Kakashi, as your student, I have to remind you here, don't read little pornographic books at ordinary times, and see what you are doing now. Naruto said with a smile, then turned his gaze to Sasuke. The smile on his face gradually disappeared. Sasuke. Naruto raised his voice. Sasuke obediently stood in front of Naruto, lowered his head and did not speak. His eyes wandered on his toes, like a student who did something wrong, waiting for the teacher's judgment. I won't say much about gymnastics here, I believe you have already summed up your experience. Ninjutsu. Well, ninjutsu is useless for you alone. Naruto taught Sasuke all the ninjutsu that Naruto learned in Genjin and Ghost Lantern City. Even if Kakashi doesn't know as many ninjutsu, Kakashi really can't compare to Sasuke when it comes to disgusting people. Don't you think you're a bull-nosed? Awkward. Want to defeat Jonin with pure body skills? Have you ever fought? You can't. Sasuke was already strong enough to fight Kakashi to this level, and Kakashi didn't have this level when he was 12 years old. However, Kakashi really released water, and several big moves were useless. If it is a deathmatch, start with 3 Tomo Sharingan and Raikage, Sasuke will be killed in the first few minutes. The gap in combat experience between the two is not generally large. Fortunately, Kakashi wanted to see Sasuke's strength, but fell into a tug-of-war of physical exertion. Use taijutsu and Sasuke to fight consumption. This is looking down on Guaxian style, and it deserves to be a kidney deficiency. After all, Kakashi, who has been decadent for many years, is no longer the amazing swordsman genius he was back then. Naruto continued. Criticize by name here. When your taijutsu is restricted, what should you do? Use ninjutsu. Do you still use me to teach you? You only use taijutsu to fight Kakashi. You really look down on him. Don't look at Kakashi's kidney deficiency now. You really push him, he can really give you a few more hours. After all, this guy is talking about himself. No more chakra, a man chatting while holding Raikage. And Kakashi will also 8 inner gates, although only 1 or 2 gates can be opened. There are also illusions. With Sharingan, your illusion resistance is too poor. In addition, he obviously has the 3 Tomo Sharingan, but he can only use the 2 abilities of dynamic vision and copying, and he doesn't know about illusions at all. The main reason is that Naruto does not know illusion, so this cannot be taught. Finally, how many times have you been distracted by this battle? Tell yourself. When he was fighting Kakashi, Naruto lost his mind, and Naruto didn't know what to say. He could only say that Kakashi let the sea go. To sum up, Sasuke already has the strength of Jonin, but not yet the measure of Jonin. Naruto was trying his best to scold over there, some people couldn't stand it anymore. Naruto, why are you so fierce to Sasuke? Haruno Sakura stepped forward with his hands on his hips, pointed at Naruto with his right index finger, and shouted like a cannonball, Ms. Kakashi is Jonin, isn't it normal that Sasuke can't beat him? Sasuke obviously did his best. Do you know how hard Sasuke is? Sasuke practices in front of me every day, I don't know how hard he works, do you know? A punk like you who lacks discipline from his family won't understand. Shut up, stupid woman. Before Haruno Sakura finished speaking, he was interrupted roughly. The one who interrupted him was none other than Sasuke, whom she defended. I saw Sasuke with a stern face and staring at Haruno Sakura with cold eyes. The unfamiliar and murderous eyes made Haruno Sakura feel scared. Congratulations to Haruno Sakura for successfully poking the pain of Commander's help. Who do you think you are? What qualifications do you have to intervene in the affairs between us? Don't look at Sasuke's words, but in fact, he has a lot of respect for Naruto in his heart. Don't say that Naruto scolded Sasuke so fiercely. Even if he was twice as fierce, Sasuke would stand there and listen obediently. Sasuke can have the strength comparable to Kakashi today, but it was taught by Naruto. It is not too much to call Naruto a master. Don't forget that when Sasuke was most helpless and confused, Naruto was by his side. If it was changed to the script, a man and a woman could get married in place. The relationship between the two naturally needless to say. In addition, Naruto's, Indra, I am your big brother Ashura, last night made Sasuke break even more. How much does Sasuke, who thinks he has lost his parents and tribe, long for family affection? As indifferent as he is, there is so much desire in his heart. You said that you came here to scold Naruto at this time, isn't this just looking for smoke? You are annoying, idiot. Naruto shook his head. I didn't do a single thing during the whole process. Wouldn't it be good to be honest and call 666? Who is this arrogant attitude for? It's really like, what's the matter if there's nothing to give, but if there's something to do, then delay. Single quote. Naruto in the original plot likes you, but it's not that I like you. What do you think you are? Aren't we teammates, KK? If it was someone else, Haruno Sakura would definitely reply. However, it was Sasuke who said this, and Haruno Sakura was a little at a loss, and his tone became stammered. Naruto's eyes widened, his face full of disbelief. When did you have the illusion that we are teammates? Put away your wrong thoughts. Be sober, no one here sees you as a teammate. Kakashi tried to stand up, but at this moment he had no strength left. That's what worries me the most. Single quote. Kakashi thinks so. As Naruto said, the two didn't regard Sakura Jr. as a teammate at all. You said, do lions and rabbits be friends? In the following days, Kakashi took the three of them to do several D-level tasks to practice their hands. The relationship between the three was still not salty, and Haruno Sakura was always excluded by the two. Kakashi didn't know how to persuade Naruto and Sasuke. He was not good at this, otherwise he wouldn't have shut himself up. If the strength is strong, it can be forcibly reversed. The problem is that he can barely do 50-50 for Sasuke. As for Naruto, I heard from third generation that Naruto has mastered the power of 9 tails. Kakashi automatically imagined the image of his wife with fluttering red hair and anger. Hit the head. Headache, headache. Naruto. After another week, Kakashi, who felt that he couldn't go on like this, stopped Naruto. If you can't form a 3-person team, you can't complete the mission. Teacher Kakashi. Naruto interrupted what Kakashi was going to say next. The list of the 3-person team is randomly assigned by the teachers of the ninja school according to the ranking. Since it is randomly assigned, there will definitely be a situation of discord. Mr. Kakashi, you should know what it means to have 2 voices in a team, right? Because of her ability, I don't think she is suitable to be our teammate. There's a huge difference in our capabilities. She can't keep up with me and Sasuke, and her stay in Shift 7 will only hold me and Sasuke back. Naruto was telling the truth. Genin's graduation class is not fixed for life, and will be constantly exchanged according to compatibility and ability complementarity, but it is not shown in the original book. Konoha has many talents and has changed teammates more than once. Kakashi changed several times after graduation at the age of 5, and it was not fixed until he met Obito and Lin. But Naruto, there are only 9 Konoha Genin graduates this year. Unless you are willing to wait for next year's Genin graduates, you and Sasuke cannot form a Genin team. What I'm waiting for is your words. So old man Danzo got us a new teammate. Root. Kakashi was silent for a while. Only 9 Genin graduates from the Bright-Faced Jonin School have qualified this year, but Danzo's roots are not in that category. The composition of root ninjas is relatively complicated, some are drawn directly from big families, and some are cultivated from childhood. Let's talk about whether there are ninjas of the same age as Naruto and Sasuke. The answer is yes. Even if it wasn't there before, it is now. For Danzo, Kakashi can't say that he fully understands it, but can only say that he is very familiar with it. This guy has an unimaginable obsession with the desire for power. If the Root Ninja can be arranged to join Naruto's team, I believe he will be very happy. Kakashi thought of his former teammate at the Root, or Tianzang. That is a very good ninja, and now he has turned from darkness to light, and directly belongs to Anbu in 3rd generation. With myself watching here, it shouldn't be a big problem. Looking at the news from Naruto, Danzo smiled like a chrysanthemum in full bloom, and the wrinkles on his face were relieved. Since Naruto graduated from the ninja school, he was very worried whether Naruto would be abducted by the old guy Sarutobi Hiruzen again. This old man has a history of instigating a talented ninja at the Root and running to Anbu. Using words such as longing for the light and living in the sun to induce this genius at the Root, and forcibly dug him away from the Root. That genius ninja was originally a subordinate whom Danzo was very optimistic about, and he was going to entrust him with important tasks when he grew up for a while, but he ran away after performing several missions with Kakashi. That's right, this genius ninja is exactly what Kakashi thought of just now, the former Root Ninja the current Anbu branch captain Tianzang. Fortunately, he didn't really delegate power, otherwise it would be a big loss. What is the essential difference between joining Anbu and joining Root? Except for the difference in the leadership they belong to, everything else is exactly the same. Since switched jobs, Danzo has maintained a high degree of vigilance against 3rd generation, for fear that he will go to the Root to dig people. It's not in vain that the old man spent so long cultivating him. Single quote. Nine-Tails JinchuRiki is indeed facing the old man. Single quote. Just so happens to have a suitable Root ninja on hand to join Naruto's 7th squad. Single quote. Danzo beckoned, and a Root appeared in front of him. Master Danzo. The code name of this Root is Ding, and he is the strongest Root ninja after Yamanaka Fung and Aburame take root. He has quite high attainments in fire-style ninjutsu, even if the Uchiha clan is revived, better than him. Ding will bring X into Nine-Tails JinchuRiki's class tomorrow. Their leader Jonin is Kakashi, you know that. Shin is a rising star of Genbu in recent years, with excellent perception ability and quite good strength. It is very suitable to be placed in the 7th class. Ding said respectfully, yes, Master Danzo. Danzo paused after he finished speaking, as if he was thinking about something, rubbed his pineapple cover unconsciously while stroking the crutch in his hand, and then continued, call Kyujin. Ask him to accompany the old man Hokage office. The old man talked to Hiruzen himself. Yes, Master Danzo. Ding said respectfully, a scarlet flash flashed across the eyes behind the mask. Looking at the back of Ding leaving, Danzo walked slowly towards the top of the Root base, leaning on crutches and trembling step by step. That is the place where the Root is closest to the ground. The sunlight shines on the left half of Danzo's face through the gap in the ground, and the other half of the face is still hidden in the shadow of the ground. Danzo seems to be at the junction of light and darkness. Soon, the day when this old man becomes a Hokage is coming. Single quote. With his eyes closed, Danzo seemed to be enjoying half of his face in the sun. It won't be long before my Danzo can stand in the sun too. Everything is under the control of the old man. Single quote. I don't know how long Danzo talked with 3rd generation. The final result is that 3rd generation agreed with Danzo's suggestion, but did not fully agree. Danzo can arrange for Root members to join the 7th squad, but not let Haruno Sakura out of the 7th squad. The reason given by 3rd generation is that a total of 9 students from ninja school have advanced to genin, and a single person cannot form a class. 3rd generation is so committed to protecting Haruno Sakura for its own reasons. There is nothing wrong with Haruno Sakura herself, she is the daughter of a Konoha ordinary chunin. The key is her family background. Although Hexingtu is not very strong, it is indeed a thriving 3rd generation faction. At the same time, their family has a certain relationship with Senju. This year Konoha Genin's class is different from the past. Asama's subordinates, Nara Shikamaru, Yamanaka Ino, Akamichi Choji. All 3 are the children of the patriarch, and without accident, all 3 of them are going to become the patriarch, and they are the new Ino Shika Cho. And their leader Jonin, Sarutobi Asuma. The second son of Sarutobi 3rd generation. He is paving the way for his own children. Let's look at the team led by Asuma's girlfriend Yuhihong in the 8th class. Hyuga Hinata, Inazuka Kiba, and Aburame Shino are also the eldest sons female of the 3 major families. Yuhihong is a new Jonin, and it stands to reason that she cannot be assigned such a combination. But she also became a teacher to the children of the 3 patriarchs. Plus Class 7, Uchiha orphans, Uzumaki orphans, and the only daughter of a die-hard supporter of the 3rd generation faction. Why Haruno Sakura? Needless to say, whether Konoha is strong under the leadership of the 3rd generation is open to debate, but the Sarutobi clan is indeed extremely strong under the leadership of the 3rd generation. On the bright side, the Hyuga family is the number 1 family in Konoha, but in fact the Sarutobi family is the real number 1 family in Konoha. 3rd generation still has some tricks, at least much better than Danzo, a guy who can only plot behind the scenes. It seems to be just a small class division, but it is actually a game. On the surface, Danzo wants to intervene in the class division. In fact, Naruto uses Danzo to test 3rd generation and test the bottom line of 3rd generation. As for the results, neither good nor bad. If it was put in the past, the 3rd generation, who is known as the strongest Hokage, would definitely not agree. Squads of 4 are just ridiculous. But now this ninja hero has chosen to avoid it. Not refusing is evasion in Naruto's view. 3rd generation is old. Naruto patted his stomach and said to Nine Tails in the sealed space, "Kurama, do you want to go out?" "Get out." Nine Tails was taken aback by the question and looked at Naruto in confusion. "What do you want to do?" Nine Tails looked at Naruto suspiciously, deciding whether Naruto was going to break the seal on purpose to release him, and then took the opportunity to beat him. This guy is full of bad water. I'm talking about getting out with Shadow Clone. Go find other tailed beasts. Come to Konoha and make a big fuss. Okay. Nine Tails' eyes were full of excitement. He likes beating Konoha violently. So you, Nine Tails, don't come. Want to trick this old man out? No way. Exercise Field 44. Sasuke, do you have any requests for your new teammates? Naruto nudged Sasuke with his elbow. Sasuke was very calm, and said in the most concise language, "Just don't delay." Kakashi lazily leaned against the tree trunk, flipping through the words, "kindness to heaven," in boredom, and glanced to the sidelines from time to time. I don't know what kind of people the Roots will arrange to come over. Single quote. Not long after, Ding brought a ninja wearing a Root mask to the outside of number 44 practice field. Ding nodded at Kakashi, and after getting Kakashi's response, he used the body flicker technique to leave. There was no nonsense in the whole process, just a slight pause when he glanced at Naruto, and his eyes stayed on Sasuke for half a second. After confirming that Ding left, Kakashi was relieved, because of his relationship with Danzo was not good. Introduce yourself. The Root ninja slowly lifted the mask on his face. The moment he saw the face of the visitor, even Sasuke was attracted by him. Nice, beautiful eyes. Single quote. Shoulder-length black short hair and delicate facial features. The most eye-catching thing is the pair of bright red eyes like flames. The Root ninja, codenamed Exon. You can also call me Shannon. Nice to meet you. Different from the lifelessness of other ninjas in Genbu, Xianglin was very energetic, and bowed to the 4 of them full of vitality, showing a sunny smile. With her ruby-like eyes, she is very friendly, to be honest, and the most important thing is that her smile looks a bit like the 4th generation. Even Kakashi was stunned for a moment. It's just that in the blind spot where the rest of the people couldn't see, Karin stuck out her tongue at Naruto. The Root ninja joining Class 7 is Karin, or Uzumaki Karin. Hair is dyed black by special dyes, and unless special reagents are used, it cannot be removed by general methods. Red hair is the hallmark of the Uzumaki clan, and it's not good to be spotted without a disguise. The Roots are no longer what they used to be. The former Root Danzo covers the sky with one hand, and he speaks with one word. Now at the Root, Danzo is in the same group alone, and the others are in the same group as Naruto. As long as Naruto nods, Danzo is still right. Not only Xianglin mixed into the Root, but also other people, such as that Ding, who is absolutely unexpected by Danzo. The organization established by one hand was infiltrated, and Danzo, the root leader, didn't realize it. It's pretty miserable. It only took half a day for Xianglin to integrate into the 7th class with her superb acting skills and outstanding affinity, including the most difficult Sasuke and the fringe staff Haruno Sakura who acquiesced in her existence. Under her coordination, the relationship between the 7th class that was on the verge of disintegration also eased, changing the tense atmosphere before. The character is unexpectedly easy to get along with. Kakashi, who was resting on the tree fork, looked at Xianglin and thought to himself. Originally thought that the joining of Genbu Ninja would make the relationship between Class 7 worse, he had already prepared for the worst, but the result was just the opposite, it seemed to be going smoothly. What kind of virtue is the root ninja? Kakashi has the best say. This kind of character is simply an anomaly at the root. Kakashi commented on Xianglin in this way. Of course it is not ruled out that it is acting, after all, there is no simple ninja. Single quote. Xiang is good, let's go. Sasuke walked in front of Xianglin who was chatting and laughing with Haruno Sakura, put his hands in his pockets, and said coolly, fight, look at the strength, if you are weak, get out. This guy's doing it again. Naruto shook his head secretly. What this guy Sasuke wants to say is precisely, it doesn't matter if it's Xianglin or Shin. Let's fight and let me see if you are qualified to stand with us. This we definitely do not include Haruno Sakura. Sasuke's unprecedented self-confidence after playing 50-50 inches with Kakashi. Strong, at this moment Sasuke feels very strong. Even if he was taught by Naruto, he just thinks that he can't be careless in the face of Jonin-level opponents. Jonin is indeed very strong. Below Jonin, he is confident that he can defeat him head-on. As for the same age, he feels that no one is his opponent except Naruto among his peers. Even Xiao Li and Neji, who used to train together, feel that they are not his opponents. After all, they haven't played against each other for a long time. Sasuke swelled. Usually in this situation, he will be honest after several beatings. For example, he tried to challenge Naruto the day he just opened the 3-God Jade, and was beaten for 3 days and 3 nights. After he understood the gap between absolute strengths, he became honest. This time he picked the wrong opponent again. It is true that Sasuke was trained by Naruto, and so is the problem with Xianglin, and more than that, Xianglin usually trains with enlightenment, plus the Uchiha family as a partner. Although there is no Sharingan, the chakra in her body is n times that of Sasuke. Okay, Xianglin said with a very bright smile. Naruto mourns Sasuke in his heart. Sasuke looked at Xianglin's smile, feeling a little uneasy in his heart. How could this woman's smile be so similar to Naruto's when he cheated on him? Never mind, it must be a coincidence. Although Sasuke and Karin each have codenames taken by Naruto, the two have never officially met. Sasuke doesn't know about Xianglin, but Xianglin does know about Sasuke. Sasuke is the son of the Fugaku couple after all. Even if Xianglin has never met, she has heard of them. Fugaku told Karin more than once that if he sees Sasuke, he will do his best to let Sasuke know what is meant by, there are people beyond people, there is a sky beyond the sky, it is said to be beneficial to Sasuke's future growth. Xianglin's strength Fugaku is very clear, it is simply cheating his son. Sasuke vs Xiangling. Sasuke, who never knew what a gentleman is, rushed towards Xiangling the moment the battle started. Sasuke, who is very proud of his own strength, didn't even open Sharingan, just took a handful of kunai. HMPH, are you scared? Seeing Xianglin standing there motionless, Sasuke thought he had been frightened, and felt very proud. So I'm so much ahead of my peers. Single quote. Thinking of this, Sasuke glanced at Naruto unconsciously, thinking to himself. At the end of Naruto Nii, Sang got stuck for a long time and couldn't finish it. Just watch, I'll be able to help you soon. Single quote. Sasuke has already come in front of Xianglin, the contempt flashed in his eyes. What roots, nothing more. Single quote. However, what Naruto was thinking at this time was, what is wrong with using it, but he should use taijutsu on Xianglin. Suddenly Sasuke only felt a violent impact on his abdomen, once, twice, 3 times, the severe pain made him bend down unconsciously. A gradually enlarged fist appeared in his vision. At that moment Naruto, Haruno Sakura and Kakashi all saw that Sasuke flew up. What kind of monsters are cultivated by the roots? Kakashi widened his eyes, looking at Karin who suppressed Sasuke. The armor that can use wood-style ninjutsu was enough to shock him, and now there is another genius who is no less. He has personally experienced Sasuke's strength. He is very strong and has a solid physical foundation, but it is an exaggeration that Shongrin's physical foundation is even more solid than Sasuke's. In terms of strength, it is even better than Sasuke. Sasuke was holding a mace, and Shongrin was holding a sledgehammer. When the weapons collided, they kept making dwang, dwang, dwang vibrations. The battle between these two has gone far beyond the scope of genin, and the battle between jonin is no more than that. Are these really genin fresh out of ninja school? Single quote. Single quote question mark. Single quote. Shouldn't genin be a rookie who only knows 3 body technique, knows how to use ninja tools, and knows how to do physical skills? Why are all of them so powerful? Single quote. Or am I too weak to keep up with the times? Single quote. Sasuke, Shongrin, and Naruto, the genin they met recently is exaggerating one by one. If it weren't for Haruno Sakura who is a real genin, Kakashi would have doubted his life. Little did he know that when he was promoted to jonin at the age of 12, Konoha shinobi who was at the same time as him thought of him the same way. His amazing talent is simply unmatched. It is a pity that it is difficult to make up for the lost 10 years. The battle between the two didn't last too long. After all, it wasn't a death fight, and it ended soon. HMPH, that's all. Sasuke, who had a pair of panda eyes, insisted. Sasuke lost again. Shongrin is so vicious, she specially hits Sasuke's face. After a battle, Sasuke's handsome face turns into a panda. Throughout the battle, Sasuke was suppressed by Kakashi, and the degree of suppression was even more exaggerated than when he was fighting Kakashi, as if the opponent was specially trained to restrain him. Sasuke is a dead duck. Chidori of the Uzumaki family, and the bug ability to restore physical strength and injuries by herself with a bite, makes Shonglin have a unique talent in physical skills. Even though Sasuke practiced for a longer period of time than Shonglin, he was soon caught up by Shonglin. This is an innate talent that cannot be changed, just like many people in the Hokage world are ordinary people who cannot use chakra. Looking at Kaoru's bamboo pole-like body, Sasuke really couldn't figure out why the opponent's strength was so much stronger than his own. In fact, Shongrin's seemingly slender body is full of high-density muscles. The talent of the Uchiha family lies in the pupil technique, and the advantage of Indra is also in Yin-dun, spiritual power. Maybe it was misled by Naruto. Sasuke likes to compete with others in taijutsu when he has nothing to do. This is purely looking for a draw. Sasuke-kun's strength is really strong. Shonglin praised without hesitation. Her tone and demeanor imitated 100% from 4th generation. Even I can't stand it anymore. Kakashi unconsciously looked at Shongrin a few more times, secretly wondering if this was the teacher's illegitimate daughter. Shonglin's strong strength has been recognized by everyone, and she quickly integrated into the 7th class. On the second day, under the leadership of Kakashi, the Genin team mission officially started. Ninja task levels are generally divided into S, A, B, C, D from top to bottom. The general tasks of the Genin team are very simple, between C and D. Chunin can perform C, B level tasks. Jonin is a rank. As for the S class, it is a special secret task related to the transnational class, and it is generally carried out by Jonin. Genin generally focuses on D-level tasks, and occasionally performs C-level tasks. It is said to accumulate task experience, but it is actually to deal with some chores. Very trivial matters such as weeding, taking care of children, and finding lost pets are all included in the ranks of D-level tasks. For the 7th class, the general D-level small tasks are really easy. Many times Naruto only needs a multiple shadow clone technique to solve it quickly. In addition, both Shonglin and Sasuke can shadow clone, so the speed is naturally faster. In 1 week, the 3 completed 100 D-level tasks in just 1 week. Almost all the D-level tasks accumulated for more than half a month have been completed. After catching a cat named Xiaohu, I was told that there was no most basic D-type task for the time being. The basic experience is almost accumulated. Then, I will arrange a C-level task for you. 3rd generation, smoking a pipe, said leisurely, then he took out a scroll from the drawer and put it on the table. It seems random, but in fact it is more like it has been prepared long ago. If a seemingly coincidental event happens anyway, it needs to be considered that it is not a coincidence but a deliberate arrangement. Just like the task that Class 7 is encountering now. Thank you, Grandpa. Third generation, Naruto said very politely. Third generation nodded to Naruto lovingly, and then gave a very brief description of the mission requirements. Dasna Bridge Builder Wave Country. Not long after, a drunken alcoholic staggered into the field of vision of the 7th class. This is the client of this task. A master bridge builder in the land of Dasnabo. The content is also very simple. As long as Dasna is safely escorted to the land of waves, it will be completed when he finishes building the bridge. It sounds like the difficulty factor is very low, just take your time. But this is a mission out of the village. Out of the village task. How complicated is the procedure for JinchuRiki to leave the village? Just ask the 4th generation. At that time, the 4th generation warned Naruto that JinchuRiki would even be treated as treason if he left the village casually. And now, Naruto, who is 9 Tails JinchuRiki, was able to walk out of the village because of a C-level mission. Do you think it's funny or not? Let alone Kakashi leading the team, it is impossible to add a team of Jonin. The land of waves is on the border of the land of fire, very close to the land of water. What do you think the kingdom of water would think if they knew that the 9 Tails JinchuRiki had appeared on their border? Normally this would be considered a provocation. The blood mist policy of one in village just ended not long ago. Is 3rd generation trying to test the reaction of one in village? This possibility is very high. Maybe it's more than that. A certain businessman trying to control the country of Wave is quite rich, but this businessman doesn't like to hire powerful ninjas, he is simply a fat sheep that can move. Naruto pouted at Sasuke. Sasuke, Xianglin, we have accepted the mission. If Sasuke wants to grow, he can't avoid fighting, and the next battle is very suitable for Sasuke now. A battle among real ninjas. This C-level task will be completed by our 7th class. Seeing the unification of opinions, Xianglin said. As for Haruno Sakura's opinion, don't think about it, she just needs to follow obediently. Dasna, a drunk who was regarded as a pawn and didn't know it, opened his drunken eyes and looked at the members of the 7th class. He burped badly, and took another sip from the flagon in his hand. Bick, Dasna burped again, maybe because he was strong and cowardly, or maybe he wanted to vent his stagnation in his heart. Watching the member of the 7th class, Dasna began to speak nonsense. A group of brats, really protect me. Especially. Think about the consequences before you speak. Before he could finish speaking, he was interrupted roughly by Naruto. Under Naruto's gaze, Dasna became much more awake. This kid's eyes are so wicked. Single quote. Don't say that Dasna can't stand it, even Mr. Chunin from ninja school can't bear it. Even if you are the client, don't think about being too rude. Naruto said with narrowed eyes. Yes, Dishonor said honestly. Well, Naruto, don't scare our client. Kakashi walked up to Naruto and patted him on the shoulder, then said to the others, gather at the Konoha gate in half an hour. Don't be late, everyone. As long as teacher Kakashi doesn't be late, it's fine. It seems that the assembly time will be moved back 2 hours. Xianglin complained in a low voice. Kakashi's frequent lateness is already the consensus of everyone in the 7th class. I will never be late this time, I promise. Half an hour later, the members of the 7th class gathered together and headed towards the land of waves under the leadership of Dasna. Along the way, Kakashi told the members of Class 7 some precautions for ninjas. When it was said that they would not meet ninjas in the C-level missions, Naruto obviously felt Dasna's heartbeat doubled. The footsteps of the few people were not slow, and they hurried on the road while admiring the scenery along the way. At noon, it was more than 50 miles away from Konoha. If it wasn't for the tow bottle of Dazina, it is estimated that he would have already boarded the boat to the country of waves. The territory of the Hokage world is actually very small, and most of the areas are uninhabited areas that are not suitable for human habitation. Only the 5 major countries and some small countries are inhabited by humans, and the overall area is actually not large. In other words, this planet is much smaller than the Earth, let alone compared with the world of Dragon Ball. 2 faint breaths. When the sun was about to set and it was approaching dusk, Naruto felt 2 more breaths nearby. Probably the lower level of Chunin. On both sides of the road in front of the group of people, 2 pools of puddles suddenly appeared, with a hint of malice emanating from them. The hidden technique is too clumsy. Single quote. Sasuke, Xianglin, and Kakashi have all noticed. It should be said that everyone except Haruno Sakura and Dasna have noticed the abnormality of these 2 pools of water. But they didn't speak, just walked by quietly. The moment the group of people passed by, 2 figures wearing breathing masks emerged from the stagnant water. The 2 then blatantly attacked Kakashi, who seemed to be the strongest in the team, and was bound by a chain with a sharp blade. First, the 2 figures exerted a little force, and Kakashi spattered blood and tore apart. Before the 2 of them were satisfied, a blue figure appeared beside them at a faster speed, kicking them over with 1 kick. The 2 couldn't even struggle, so they slammed into the tree trunks on both sides, losing their fighting ability instantly. Spike. With Chunin level combat power, the 7th class can also fight Haruno Sakura. Kakashi tied the 2 together and revealed their origins. Mist Ninja Chunin, known for fighting to the death no matter the cost. To be more precise, it should be Wu Ninja's ninja brothers, Mingtu, Yeto, and the subordinates of Onitudo no longer beheaded. However, there are no scratches on the forehead protectors of the 2, and they are not famous people, so it is normal for Kakashi not to recognize them. Mr. Dasna, please explain why the ninjas of Mist Ninja Village came to you. Kakashi's eyes turned to Dasna. Why are you being targeted by ninjas? Encountering ninjas is at least a B-level mission. It is a felony in any ninja village to lie about the mission level. You must know that the enemies encountered at the B-level task level are Chunin and below. And if you don't kill enemies of that level, it's not an exaggeration to set it as an A-level task. There is a difference of 2 grades between C and A, and the difficulty of the span is from Genin to Jonin in 1 step. I have unavoidable difficulties. Dasna began to ponder with sweat all over his head, and the alcoholism had long since disappeared with the evaporation of sweat. There's no need to talk nonsense. Naruto interrupted Dasna's next words. No matter what reason you have, I'm not interested in knowing. The mission continues, and the 7th class has no habit of giving up halfway. The price. You bear it yourself. Regardless of whether 3rd generation has taken a fancy to Kato's property or not, Naruto has taken a fancy to it anyway, and there is also the land of waves next to the land of vortex. Mr. Kakashi, wouldn't it be nice to have a ninja to gain practical combat experience? Among us, only Sasuke and little Sakura have never actually fought. Take it as preparation for the Chunin exam soon, aren't you right? Teacher Kakashi. Naruto rarely mentions little Sakura, although it is not a good thing. The revealed information also tells Kakashi an intelligence. Naruto and Karin have already fought at the roots. Kakashi is not blind. Judging from Xianglin's occasional intimate behavior with Naruto, the 2 should know each other from the root. In the end, Naruto's words are the key point. Genin, who has no actual combat experience, will suffer a lot in the Chunin exam. When I was their age, I didn't know how many times I had accumulated practical experience. Kakashi thought for a while, and said, the mission of the 7th class continues. Yes, Xianglin said with a smile as she pulled Haruno Sakura, whose legs were a little weak. HMPH. Sasuke didn't speak, but just let out a cold snort. The slightly trembling hands betrayed him, and he became a little excited. The group of people rushed a little faster, and soon arrived at the port. The Land of Waves is a small island independent of the inland. If you want to reach the Land of Waves, you have to cross the sea. This is why Dasna must build a bridge. The lifeblood of the entire country is firmly controlled by Kato. To be honest, Naruto didn't understand. Instead of preventing Dasna from building the bridge, it is better to wait until the bridge is built and then destroy it. This will hurt morale even more. At least if it was him, he would definitely do so. Hearing how many people were going to the country of Bo, no boatman dared to carry them. The name of the shipping company Cardo is still very deterrent among ordinary people. As the leading bridge builder in the Land of Waves, Dasna still has some contacts. In the end, a fisherman successfully sent Naruto and his party to the border of the Land of Waves. Before landing, Naruto felt a breath staring at them all the time. Not bad, barely scored 90 points. Naruto's point of reference is not his own. It's Kakashi. Mixed with the sound of the wind, accompanied by a huge beheading sword, it roared towards the seventh squad. An extremely arrogant voice sounded. No wonder the Brotherhood of Ghosts lost. It turned out that they met the famous copy ninja Kakashi. Ghosts and peaches will never be cut again. With short black hair, the forehead protector is worn to the left, the lower half of the face and neck are wrapped in bandages, and a pair of murderous eyes are looking around at everyone in the 7th class. It turned out to be Wu Ninja who rebelled against Ninja, and the ghost will not be killed again. Kakashi spoke unhurriedly after seeing the appearance of the person coming, and at the same time his body tensed up gradually. Thought it was just an ordinary Jonin, now it looks a little tricky. No more chopping. The genius of Wu Ninja Village, one of the 7 knives and the second master of the beheading sword. Because he killed all the genin in the same period in the assessment at the age of 9, he is known as the existence of ghosts. He is good at water style and assassination, especially the silent killing technique. Attempt to assassinate Mizukage, but failed in the end, and became a traitor of Wu Ninja Village. Naruto's voice sounded, interrupting the two who were about to flatter each other, and directly said the characteristics of Zabuza. Hokage's favorite thing to do in the early stage, you are 4x, I am 4x, how good I am, how good you are, and then start fighting. Little ghost, you know a lot of information about me. Zabuza stared at Naruto, and the thick murderous aura poured out unreservedly. Naruto continued, unaffected by his killing intent, I have seen his information on Danzo's old man. As long as he is a powerful ninja, his old man has records. Don't ask is what Danzo collects. In order to affect Naruto, the murderous intent of not slashing must be at least 100 times stronger. In the 7th class, only Haruno Sakura trembled under the murderous intent of Zabuza. As long as there is one person in the team who lags behind in the follow-up tasks, there will be a series of chain reactions, which is why Naruto wanted to kick Haruno Sakura out of the team from the very beginning. It's a pity that the old man of 3rd generation insists on playing politics Z and governing Z. Naruto patted Sasuke and said, Sasuke, your task now is to kill this former 7 ninja swordsman alone. This guy is no longer inferior to Kakashi, he is a good opponent. This brat. Zabuza glanced at Sasuke sideways, nodded at his unaffected performance under his murderous aura, and didn't take Naruto's words to heart, but said disdainfully to Kakashi, Kakashi, do you want this brat to come and die? I trust my disciple, Kakashi said with a relaxed face. As far as encountering enemy attacks, he may be the easiest one to lead Jonin. There are a total of 4 people in the team he leads, and 3 of them are not inferior to him. A 3-second silence for Zabuza. HMPH, since you want the disciple to die, then I won't be polite. In the next second, he appeared on the water, holding his right hand high, in the shape of the Statue of Liberty. Ren-Fa** mist shinobi technique. A dense white mist appeared, covering the entire forest. Silent assassination, the most grandmaster's ninjutsu. Relying on this move's non-cutting, it is known as the first assassination of Mist Ninja. 8 places. The voice of no more cut came from all directions, and there was chakra no cut hidden in the thick fog, allowing him to easily see through the movements of several people. I have the advantage. Throat, spine, pulmonary artery, heart. The arrogant voice sounded again. Where do you want me to attack? He. First use thick fog to block the opponent's line of sight, and then continue to exert pressure, continuously increasing the psychological burden of the opponent, looking for opportunities to kill with one blow. It is not so much a silent killing technique as it is a psychological warfare. Zabuza has formed his own fighting style into a system, and all ninjas with a fighting system in the ninja world are powerful existences. In the original plot, as the first boss to appear on the stage, Zabuza felt full of oppression, giving the 7th class absolute oppression. What's more, it has been created by one hand, the brilliant record of manually controlling the 6th generation project, stepping on into the 3rd, and smashing the 7th generation project. Neither Uchiha Madara nor Otsutsuki Kagaya had such a record in the later period. It's a pity that what he met this time was the 7th class of the infinitely enhanced version. Naruto's eyes are as eye-catching as an open fire in the dark night, unless he can suppress his chi to the minimum, otherwise he will never escape Naruto's perception. Not only Naruto, but also Karin, who has Kagura's mind-eye ability, can easily spot him. In front of the two of Naruto, Zabuza's every move was watched by them, including the action of picking his nose just now. In addition, Kakashi and Sasuke are Sharingan holders. Although the insight of Sharingan is not as terrifying as that of White Eyes, it also has extraordinary insight and can observe the flow of chakra. The only two people who can't see through the silent killing technique are Haruno Sakura and drunkard Dazna. The figure of Zaibuju appeared beside Dazina, holding the beheading sword high and about to kill him with one blow. As long as the target of the mission guarded by the opponent is killed, there is no need to fight again. It's not stupid to not be cut again. Sasuke came to Dazna at an extremely fast speed, blocked the attack of the beheading sword with kunai, and then kicked towards Zabuza. Splash! Zabuza just now was nothing more than a water body. It's very good, kid. The voice of Zabuza sounded from behind Sasuke, and the beheading knife in his hand slashed towards Sasuke at an extremely fast speed. With a bang, Sasuke was cut in half with a single knife. Hiss! I saw Sasuke's body gradually becoming nothingness and finally disappearing. No more chopping. Clone technique. When was the seal completed? Single quote. This is not the clone technique, one of the three body techniques, but the afterimage fist. The afterimage fist can be used even if you don't know how to get angry, as long as the speed is fast enough. Compared with the clone technique, which still needs to be sealed, the afterimage boxing is undoubtedly more practical. Because the speed is fast enough. HMPH. A cold hum sounded behind Zabuza, and the flickering kunai sank into Zabuza's body. Pucci no longer cut and turned into a ball of clear water again. Very good power, it can kill my water body in one fell swoop. The voice of Zabuza sounded from behind Sasuke again, I admit your strength. Pity, your combat experience is too poor. No more beheading with a big sword, vowing to split Sasuke in two. Hiss! Sasuke's body became nothingness again. Another afterimage fist. Back. Without even thinking about it, he stepped forward with his left foot, using his left foot as the power point, and made a 180-degree horizontal split like a home run to the rear. Sasuke was split in two again. HMPH, very nice boy. Unfortunately, Nani. Buzan's eyes widened. Hiss! Sasuke's body turned into nothingness again. It turned out to be an afterimage fist. Zabuza used water body 3 times in total, while Sasuke used afterimage fist 3 times. Fire style great fireball technique. Sasuke's voice also sounded behind Zabuza. In an instant, a huge fireball will be devoured without cutting. For the first time, Sasuke performed ninjutsu for the first time. It's a pity that fire style ninjutsu is used. Laughing to death, which late master was burned to death by fire style. The voice of water style water prison technique sounded again and again behind Sasuke. The blue water ball trapped Sasuke. No, Zabuza used the water body 4 times in total, and the one that was just killed by the great fireball was still the water body. This wave is an infinite back and forth battle. Naruto lip synced, the content is. Let him pretend for a while. Single quote. To be able to fight with me to this extent, your disciple is quite good. Zabuza controlled Sasuke with one hand, and carried the beheading sword in the other. He has this kind of strength at a young age. If I guessed right, this brat should be the key training object in your village. Unfortunately, the combat experience is still insufficient. Then Bujin changed the subject and suggested, give that old man to me, and I'll let this kid go. How about it, Kakashi? You don't want your disciple to die here, do you? If it wasn't for mission conflicts, Zabuza didn't want to fight Kakashi. Ninjas of their level would either die or be injured once they made a move. Even if Kakashi can be killed without cutting, the price to be paid is very high, which is obviously not worthwhile. In particular, he is still a traitor. If the troops who are hunted down by the Karin find out, it will inevitably take a lot of trouble. Although not afraid, but very troublesome. He couldn't figure out why Dazna was an ordinary person. Even if he was a well-known bridge builder, why would there be a ninja like Kakashi guarding him? Are all the people in the Kingdom of Waves so rich? No wonder Kato wants to control this place. If you don't cut it, my disciple won't die so easily. Kakashi just glanced away and said lightly, and covered the forehead protector that had been pushed away, blocking the Sharingan again. Since you don't care about this brat's life or death, I'll kill him first, and then kill your other disciples. If you don't kill him, you will be angry. Don't expect a guy who kills all genin in the same period to have a good temper. Kakashi looked at Zabuza with a strange face and said, "Did you really catch my disciple?" "What?" Zabuza heard the words and unconsciously looked towards the water prison technique, only to hear a bang, and Sasuke in the water prison turned into a cloud of white smoke. Oops. Zabuza immediately released the water prison technique, carrying the beheading knife, turned around with a serious face and began to look around, for fear that Sasuke would attack from behind again. In the fight just now, this black-haired brat put a lot of pressure on him. It's really just a lack of experience. What Zabuza didn't realize was that with the removal of the water prison technique, a shuriken also fell to the ground. In less than 3 seconds, Zabuza suddenly felt a wind blowing in the back of his head. It's behind. Single quote. No more cuts, only time to stretch out his hand to block. Sasuke's lower split kicked heavily on the arm of no longer cut. A lot of strength. I just felt that my arm hit the steel plate, and the whole arm was numb from the shock, and it was slightly deformed. The waving beheading sword came late and slashed towards Sasuke, but Sasuke, who succeeded in one blow, had no intention of entanglement, and left the place directly, and the attack without slashing was in vain. How could it be possible to circle behind me so quickly? Single quote. Unless. Real body. No more cut to meet Kakashi's slightly smug eyes. Kakashi, you fool, how dare you lie to me? Single quote. It was only after realizing it that he didn't cut it anymore that he realized that he had been tricked, and the person trapped by his water prison technique was not a clone at all, the real body was also inside. It's just that the arm that would never be cut again swelled up at a very fast speed, and the whole body was fatter, and even a slight effort felt raw pain. It is impossible to use this arm in a short time. With the loss of an arm, the combat power of no more slashing dropped drastically. Humph. It's not a good thing not to cut it. I saw his other hand pressed on this arm, pulled it hard, only heard a click, and forcibly snapped the arm back. It can restore combat power in a short period of time, but if it is not treated in time later, the sequelae will be very serious. Zabuza shook his hands as usual, and looked at Sasuke with eyes full of killing intent. I underestimated you, brat. The next blow will kill you. Zabuza stared at Sasuke, then slowly backed away, disappearing into the thick fog. Immediately afterwards, the dense fog around became thicker, and the visibility was less than 2 meters. This is a byproduct of the ghostly crimson chakra airflow erupting from Zabuza's body. It is also the highest level of silent killing technique. Because this move can swallow even sound. It was quiet all around, without a single sound, and the entire forest became deathly quiet. Zabuza put away his playful thoughts and started to go all out. The Mist Ninja 7 Swords, even among the Mist Ninja, is an elite among the elites, and there are not many ninjas who can beat him in the entire ninja world. The value of each item in the official formula book is 61. Except for the 2 items of magic and virtuous, which are slightly lower, the rest of the items are hovering around 8 and 9, which is quite strong. Body Flicker Technique Fog. Zabuza moves at high speed in the fog like a ghost. Soon he appeared behind Sasuke. Sasuke seemed to be aware of it, and the moment he turned around, the figure of Zabuza disappeared again. Haunted like a ghost. A real ghost. Fire-style Impatience Claw Red. Sasuke first threw out a row of shurikens, and then he completed the Impatience Fire technique in a very short period of time with both hands. On the sword, the shuriken is mixed with scorching heat like impatience scattered all over the sky. The range of this move is very large, but it's a pity that if it doesn't hit, it won't cut. At this moment, he is just a ghost in the fog, illusory and leaving no trace. The silent killing technique of Zabuza is really strong. If he hadn't met Naruto's team, he would not be afraid to face any Konoha Jonin. Once at the same time as Kakashi, Konoha's special Jonin Yushikumasho was defeated by the silent killing technique of Zabuza, and was killed by a single knife. When Sasuke looked around, the erratic Zabuza appeared behind him again, and the beheading knife was raised high and then fell heavily. Mingming was waving the beheading sword, but there was no sound. Because the sound was swallowed by the crimson chakra airflow behind him. This is the full strength of his Dao Di Zai Buzan, this is the essence of the silent killing technique. Killing broken sword beheading broadsword. Just as the beheading sword was about to complete his task and take off Sasuke's head, Sasuke suddenly turned around as if he had expected it. Fire-style heavenly prison fire sword. A fiery red long sword caught it firmly, and if you don't cut it, it will kill you. Everything just now was Sasuke's strategy to lure Zabuza to attack. Zabuza, who didn't expect that his killing blow was caught, met Sasuke's eyes. If you don't cut it again, you will never hide my eyes from any of your actions. Sasuke's eyes instantly turned into three-pointed jade, and they began to spin wildly in the pupils. This is Sharingan, the Uchiha clan. Oops. Single quote. If you don't want to close your eyes subconsciously, it's a pity that it's still a step too late. Illusion Sharingan. There are 5 people in the 7th class, 2 with superior perception and 2 with 3 Tomo Sharingan. 4 plugins specialize in silent assassination. Blood Mac. Shit. If you don't want to beheaded, you really can only hit with the head. Useless cold knowledge. During the Ninja World War, Kakashi said to the other 7 ninja swords, you might as well not cut it. According to the official setting, he is the offensive and defensive focus of the second batch of Ninja Sword 7. Kisame usually calls Zabuza the kid, but he told Shueyu that Zabuza is the best master of the beheading sword. Kisame had met Loquat Juzang, the first master of the beheading sword, and he indirectly admitted the strength of Zabuza by saying this. It's a testament to his strength that he survived the failed assassination attempt on Mizukage. I don't know when there will be a trend of black and never cut. As the first boss to appear, it is indeed a disadvantage, and it really can't keep up with the plot in the later stage. But excluding the fights of gods in the later stage, no matter how you don't cut them, you can still stand at the pinnacle of ordinary ninjas except Emperor Guy. In addition to Shoner being a bit higher than Shoner's Obito and Shoner's Naruto, his illusion resistance is almost low, and all the values are hovering around 8 or 9, which is really not weak. Buzan only felt his brain stop, and after a while of dizziness, the whole world began to distort. Illusion solution. After all, it was Elite Jonin, who reacted very quickly, directly disrupted the flow of chakra, and violently cracked the illusion. It's a pity that Sasuke is not good at using illusion, and he doesn't practice much at ordinary times, otherwise, this move would kill him instantly. After all, the resistance to the illusion is too poor. Even so, it caused a momentary pause. Even a momentary distraction from a Jonin-level ninja's move can be fatal. Dance of the Crescent Moon. Sasuke's body was divided into 3 parts, and he held the fire of happiness and slashed at the neck, abdomen, and waist of Zabuza respectively. In an instant, blood spattered, accompanied by a plop. The uncut body fell heavily on the ground. Humph. Sasuke squeezed it hard, and the happiness of fire in his hand immediately turned into countless star points and dissipated in the air, together with the dense fog summoned by Zabuza. Cough cough. Zabuza, who fell to the ground, braced himself up, and a mouthful of blood gushed out, staining the bandage on his face red. As expected of a ghost, after being hit by the dance of the 3 suns and the moon that must be killed, he still has 1 breath left if he doesn't kill him. However, he only has 1 breath left. If his body is severely injured, if he is not treated in time, he will die in a short time. A slight whistling sounded, and the 3 silver needles pointed directly at Zabuza's fragile neck. Ding, ding, ding. I saw Sasuke pull out a kunai from the ninja bag tied to his thigh, and threw it to block the attack. Zabuza is my prey, and you are so brave to use ninja tools in front of the Uchiha clan. I've been paying attention to you for a long time. Sasuke exudes a strong fighting spirit. Following his gaze, there is a ninja wearing a white mask standing on a branch not far away. Thank you so much, I have been looking for opportunities to kill and not cut. The white-masked ninja said. Kakashi, who hung up the phone for a long time, stared at the mask on the visitor's face and said, that mask, are you a member of the Mist Ninja Hunting Force? It's amazing, I am. Chasing and killing the defected ninjas and not killing them, is my task. The next moment, a ninja who claimed to be the Mist Ninja Hunting Force appeared in front of Zabuza. Whoosh! A shuriken interrupted the next movement of the visitor. No, you're not. Sasuke exuded an astonishing fighting spirit, and said confidently, the attack you just made was to avoid the vital points, and attacking the heart and brain is the best way to kill someone. Choose, and I won't use something as gentle as Senbon. You are an accomplice who will not be beheaded again. Sasuke's self-confidence is slowing down, and it's rare for him to speak so much in a state of extreme excitement. Fight with me. After finishing speaking, he did not wait for someone to attack, and directly awed over. Sasuke, who was specially trained by Naruto, is no longer the existence of Shion 4 at this stage in the original book. Whether it is strength or intelligence, it is the best choice. Naruto also had to praise. He pretended to be. Sorry, Mr. No more killing. His speed is too fast, and I'm too late. Seeing that his disguise was seen through, Bai didn't hide anymore, and quickly formed a seal with one hand. Ice escaped secret art magic mirror ice crystal. The ice demon palace composed of countless ice walls appeared in front of Sasuke, and began to rotate at high speed around Sasuke. It's a pity that Bai's strength is not as good as Zabuza, and he has a soft-hearted fatal weakness, so he soon followed in Zabuza's footsteps. Bai, who was lying on the ground, looked at Zabuza and said again, "Sorry, Mr. Zabuza. Maybe this is our fate." Zabuza coughed up a puddle of blood, and said with force, "Is the Konoha kid already this powerful? Kakashi, give us a treat. He is very free and easy about being killed. He was ready the moment he killed all the candidates in the blood mist. This is the destiny of ninjas. The hand rises, the knife falls, and the person dies." Although the story of Shiro and Zabuza is very touching, it is a pity that they are ninjas from Mist Ninja Village in the country of water. Naruto watched this scene quietly, without any fluctuations in his heart. Mist ninjas should die. Single quote. The country of Uzumaki was destroyed by Mist Ninja, and the country of Uzumaki can be regarded as Naruto's ancestral home. I'm just a shadow clone, and my mission is just to follow the 7th squad. This time, Sasuke is the protagonist. As long as it is his choice, I will unconditionally support it. Single quote. Yes, Naruto standing here is just a shadow clone. From the moment I left the village, I changed to a real shadow clone. Naruto not only released one avatar, but one of the avatars arrived in the Land of Waves one step earlier than Class 7, and is now in the daimyo mansion of the Land of Waves. And Naruto's real body is in Rain Shinobi Village at the moment. In Rain Shinobi Village, Senior, Nagato said very respectfully, looking at Naruto, who came in response to his summoning. It can be found here only by the illusory breath. This senior of the Whirlpool clan is really powerful. He is worthy of the level of an ancestor who has lived for 1,000 years. Nagato thought so, and he respected Naruto even more in his heart. In a sense, Naruto didn't lie either. He was originally supposed to be the reincarnation of Ashura Chakra, the ancestor of Senju and Vortex. So Naruto equals the ancestor of Nagato. Konan, standing next to Nagato, looked at Naruto warily. Just one guy who calls himself Uchiha Madara is already a headache enough, and now there are more ancestors of the Vortex clan, all wearing the same mask. It is too suspicious. Konan is not as easy to trust others as Nagato. You must be vigilant. These people must want to use Nagato, use Nagato's Rinnegan. Single quote. Then Naruto's next sentence broke her defense. Your situation is very serious, and your lifespan is numbered, little Nagato. Naruto said hoarsely, looking at the skinny Nagato, who was sitting on a special chair with a haggard face. After carefully looking at the black stick formed by the combination of yin and yang escape techniques stuck in Nagato's back for a while, he continued, "This is too heavy a burden for you. There is one thing to say, 6 Paths Pen's 6 puppets seem to be a cool batch of operations, but in fact, the power of the 6 puppets is not as powerful as the Nagato body, and the multi-line remote operation is a waste of chakra. If it is not for the inconvenience of Nagato's legs and feet, it is really not recommended to use it like this. The key is easy to break down one by one. If I'm not mistaken, you should have used the power you haven't mastered in advance. Do you know what that means? You're overdrawing your life. Even if it's the huge chakra of the Uzumaki family, I'm afraid you won't be able to last for a few years with your current situation." "Then what can you do, Senior?" Konan asked before Nagato could speak. After Yahiko died, the only person Konan cared about was Nagato. "Konan, it doesn't matter. Nagato doesn't care much about his own life or death. What he cares about is whether Yahiko's ideal can be realized." But under Konan's firm gaze, he retracted his next words. "I have 2 methods." Naruto pondered for a while, and under Konan's expectant eyes, he continued. "First, remove the Rinnegan and replace it with normal eyes. The root cause of Nagato's severe overdraft is that Geto statue was summoned in advance. Geto statue is like a juicer, constantly absorbing Nagato's chakra. Coupled with the double Rinnegan, those are not Nagato's original eyes. Ordinary Sharingan outsider outfits consume chakra extremely, let alone the advanced Rinnegan of Sharingan. If it weren't for Nagato's physique of the Vortex clan, he would have been sucked dry long ago. Up. Take off the eyes, no longer use the Geto statue, wait a few years, with the physique of the Nagato Vortex family, the body will recover soon. This is indeed a good choice, but this method. Impossible. Konan and Nagato spoke at the same time. Picking off the Rinnegan is a no-brainer. What are Rinnegans? Eye of the Sage of Six Paths. How many people yearn for this power? There are no fewer than 2 people in the Shao organization alone who have peeped at the power of the Immortal Eye. Orochimaru, a member of the former Akatsuki organization, is a masked man who calls himself Uchiha Madara. Leaving aside Orochimaru's departure from the organization, the other members of the Akatsuki organization, Konan, are also confident that they can suppress him. Only the erratic Uchiha Madara, Konan is really not sure how to deal with him. Moreover, the organization is full of S-level rebels. If Nagato hadn't forcibly integrated them with absolute power, it would be hard to imagine what they would do after learning that Nagato had lost the Immortal Eye. Konan kept an eye on Naruto, fearing that he might try to snatch Nagato's Rinnegan. Naruto didn't care about this, just heard him continue to say, then there is only the second method. A chakra that absorbs a tailed beast. In the Shippuden plot, Nagato sucked the chakra from 8 tails. Not only did his hair turn red, his body returned to normal, and his feet were healed. The fundamental reason why Nagato became like this is because of Geto statue and Rinnegan. As long as chakra's problem can be solved, Nagato can easily return to the peak. Impossible can. Nagato and Konan spoke at the same time. For Nagato, the tailed beast is used to make the tailed beast weapon to realize Yahiko's ideal. How can it be used to restore his own body? For Konan, she cares more about Nagato now. Nagato. Konan raised his voice, looking at Nagato worriedly. Nagato shook his head and said softly, Konan, I've made up my mind. Little Nagato, you don't agree with this or that, which makes it difficult for me. Without a strong body as a support, it is impossible to create a true peace-like Sage of Six Paths. There was a trace of helplessness in Naruto's hoarse voice. In fact, it is completely possible to suck a tailed beast dry, and then wait for it to be reborn 3 years later. But Nagato disagrees with life and death. It seems that this is a common problem of all powerful ninjas in the ninja world, with a bunch of brains. Nagato gave Naruto an apologetic look, and then a look of determination on his face. This is my destiny. I will implement peace in my own way. Fulfilling Yahiko's ideals. The fate of shit, it's just that Uchiha Madara needed to find a container to cultivate his eyes and chose you. Single quote. Listening to Nagato's words, Naruto sighed in his heart. Nagato was chosen by Madara from the very beginning. Nagato. Konan looked at Nagato with pain in his eyes. He walked to Nagato's side without making a sound, and gently pressed his body against Nagato's back. Whatever path you choose, I will support you and will be by your side until the end of my life. Single quote. The two guard each other's most cherished things in their own way. Naruto's voice sounded again, breaking the two who were immersed in their own world. Just listen to him. Then we can only use the third method. There is a third way. Nagato. Bai has been brewing for a long time. Konan. Isn't it common sense to say that there are actually 3 methods in 2 ways? In the final analysis, the problem of Nagato is that chakra consumes too much. Solving this problem actually solves all problems. As for this issue, Naruto actually had a plan for a long time ago, and he guessed that Nagato would not agree to the first 2 plans. I just heard Naruto say proudly, after all, the old man still has the nickname Netherland Chasing Soul. With that confident tone, it seemed that any problem could be solved easily. Does Netherland chase souls? Nagato muttered to himself, repeating the name. As expected of the ancestor of the Whirlpool clan who lived for 1,000 years. Single quote. Konan. I don't quite understand it, but it sounds amazing. Single quote. If you want to solve the problem of little Nagato, you still need to prepare some things. Naruto pretended to circle around Nagato, nodded while thinking, and then said after a while, 3 days, I will come back in 3 days looking for you. Okay, Konan said in front of Nagato, afraid that Nagato would disagree again. Nagato gave Naruto an apologetic look. Naruto proposed 3 days to prepare, that is, to go to the land of thunder, the land of earth, and the land of wind. It is very easy to fly around the 3 countries at full speed with Wukong. Rock Shinobi Village, in the Rock Shadow Building, 3rd Tsuchikage Onogi is plotting something with his son Huang too. It has been more than 10 years since the last Ninja World War. Except for one village, all the ninja villages have recovered a lot of vitality. As a well-known careerist in the ninja world, Onogi's mind also became active. The organization called Akatsuki has done a lot of tasks for us, said Onoki, who was sitting on Yenying's seat, flipping through the scrolls. The wide chair looked comical for his small stature. When you get closer, you will find that Onogi's body is not touching the seat at all, but is floating less than 1 centimeter away from the seat. Earth-style light-heavy rock technique is similar to Naruto's Wukongjutsu, a ninjutsu that can reduce the weight of objects and give people the ability to fly temporarily. However, this technique has a disadvantage: the strength of the subject will decrease. This is not as good as dance. Father, what do you mean? Don't give them any more tasks. Wangtu tried to figure out his father's intentions. His tall and strong body was in stark contrast to the short Onoki. It was hard to imagine that the two were actually father and son. Idiot! Onoki jumped up, and hit Huangtu's head hard with the scroll in his hand. It seemed that his waist was twisted due to excessive force, and he rubbed his waist and said, "What are you thinking? What I mean is that if the village's secrets are not involved, those more difficult tasks can be handed over to them. Only paying 70% of the commission can help us complete the task, and the completion rate is still 100%. Without losing our manpower, we can also earn 30% commission for nothing. No matter how you think about it, it's a good deal." Father is right. Wangtu touched the place where he was knocked, and smiled honestly, like an old farmer who had just come from working in the field. It's still your consideration. Anyone who really treats this guy as an old farmer will suffer a lot. This is the well-known number 2 figure in Rock Shinobi Village, and his earth-style ninjutsu is superb, even Onoki is slightly inferior. A character that neither Rock Shinobi Village 4 Tails nor 5 Tails JinchuRiki can match. If it wasn't for being unable to learn Onogi's unique skill, Prime Realm stripping technique, then he would be the well-deserved 4th Tsuchikage. He would say this to Onoki purely because this is the way the two of them communicate. Master Tsuchikage is not well. The door of Tsuchikage's office was pushed open, and a rock shinobi stumbled in. Nadime's grave has been dug up. Onoki. Onogi stood in front of the graves of his master and father with a gloomy face. His small body was exuding a terrifying aura. Huang Tu also changed from his previous honest appearance, more like a general who is not angry and arrogant. I saw him searching around with a fierce look on his face, trying to find some information about the perpetrator. Anyone whose ancestral graves are dug up will not be in a good mood. The soil was newly dug, and it took less than an hour. This person should not have gone far. Top Earth-style masters judge when to dig a cemetery from the dirt, and it's not easy. Send me an order to seal off the entire Rock Shinobi village. Once suspicious people are found, they will be killed without mercy. This is a challenge to Rock Shinobi. It is a challenge to me, Onogi. No matter who he is or what purpose he has, I will make him pay the price. However, the culprit who did all this was already approaching the Land of Thunder. Not long after, Naruto flew from the Land of Earth to the Land of Thunder under the full speed of Chi Blessing. The enchantment of Cloud Shinobi is simpler than that of Rock Shinobi, Naruto said while looking at the translucent enchantment below Cloud Shinobi. Each village has a corresponding enchantment, and these enchantments play the role of blocking and detection. Among them, Konoha's is the most complicated, and Sand Shinobi's is the simplest. Under normal circumstances, to enter Ninja Village, you need to go through the main entrance to register. Thunder Country Cloud Shinobi Village is currently the most powerful village among the 5 major countries. Wu Ninja Village, which had never experienced the gathering of 7 knives in the blood mist, can barely compare with it, but it is a pity that now the situation of Mist Shinobi is comparable to that of Sand Shinobi. Cloud Shinobi Village advocates culture and martial arts, and the martial arts school is prosperous. All generations of Raikage are known for their proficiency in hand-to-hand combat. It is also the only ninja village in the 5 major countries that is very united and rarely intrigues. There are hardly a few rebellious ninjas, which is different from the S-level rebellious ninja who is everywhere like a dog. Cloud Shinobi Village was founded on a towering mountain, surrounded by clouds and mist, and the deafening thunder echoed from time to time. There are 2 tall lightning protection towers standing on the border of the village, which are devices used to absorb the naturally falling thunder and convert it into kinetic energy. Entering the boundary of Cloud Shinobi Village, Naruto quickly descends to the ground. It is not because of the excellent prevention and control measures that Cloud Shinobi Village has, but because the valley where Cloud Shinobi Village is located in a minefield, and it has been under lightning for a long time, so it is easy to be struck by lightning when flying in the air. Like Iwagakure, a natural fortress surrounded by mountains and rocks, the minefield near Cloud Shinobi Village is a natural barrier for Cloud Shinobi. No wonder the 3 ninja wars rarely attacked Rock Shinobi and Cloud Shinobi, let alone hit the door. The geographical advantage of being easy to defend and difficult to attack gives them absolute initiative. Of course, the shortcomings are also obvious. Compared with the fertile Konoha and the abundant water resources, Rock Shinobi and Cloud Shinobi are relatively scarce in resources. But it is also better than Sand Shinobi, who is too poor. Sand Shinobi is really not beaten because the environment is too bad. Cloud Shinobi Village Consolation Monument Cemetery. The gloomy sky seemed to be dripping ink, and there was light rain falling in the sky, making the whole world seem hazy. The teak door with a waist-length braid and a long braid came to a comfort monument and gently put down the bouquet in his hand. Looking at the name on the tombstone, he was silent. It took a while for the teak door to look away, and just as she was about to leave, she vaguely heard a faint singing sound from the depths of the monument. The singing sound was extremely erratic, but the teak door relied far beyond normal human hearing can still capture a trace of the track. As night approached, it was a bit frightening to hear the singing near this memorial monument. You must know that there are many bones buried in the land under your feet. Who dares to play tricks here? But who is the teak door? She will not be afraid. The second tail sealed in her body is Matabi, who is known as the gatekeeper of the underworld, and this is the territory of Cloud Shinobi. Looking for the direction of the singing, he strode forward and walked in diameter. The deeper you go, the gray mist gradually rises around you, the temperature drops a lot, and you can even exhale white gas from your mouth. You must know that it is now in the midsummer season, and it is absolutely impossible for this to happen. At the same time, Teak Woodgate also discovered that she seemed to be the only one left in the entire cemetery of the Consolation Monument. The forest of consolation steles in front seems to be transformed into a giant human-eating beast waiting for its prey. Just when she was hesitating whether to move on, the ethereal singing voice seemed to become much clearer, and a few words could be vaguely heard. The sun, heaven, earth, green mountains, zigzag fish. Spicy and spicy, hello. It looks very strange in this forest of tombstones and condolence steles. The teak door made 2 steps in 3 steps, and stepped forward quickly, but after a while, he could see the tombstone in front of him clearly. That's the tomb of Lord Third Generation. Then in the dim light, the teak door saw a strange man in a black robe, who was digging hard with a shovel with his back turned to him. Tomb robbery, single quote. These 2 words immediately appeared in the teak wood door's heart. Someone dared to sneak into Cloud Shinobi Village to rob graves. Now that you're here, don't leave. Human cat's claw. The nails on the 10 fingers of the teak door became sharp and long, and the footsteps became extremely light, approaching the black-robed monster step by step. If you don't have hot peppers, you don't have to eat them. When he was less than 10 meters away from the black-robed man, the other party suddenly stopped singing and turned to face the teak door. At this moment, a thunderbolt streaked across the sky, illuminating the whole memorial tablet. The teak door also saw the other party clearly. It was a spiral pattern mask. Yo, look what I found, a big cat. A hoarse and dull strange voice sounded. Go, get out of here. A voice sounded in the heart of the teak door. It was Matabi, who rarely spoke, but instead of his usual easy-going tone, his voice was actually a little eager and urgent. Seen through the teak door, the blue flame on Matabi's body was bursting and burning. This is fried hair. Two Tails. Matabi sensed danger from the opponent. How is this possible? Even Eight Tails didn't make her way feel dangerous when he went berserk. Just a weirdo. Run. Stay away from the other party. Matabi's voice rang a second time, this time more urgently than before. Matabi is the most sensitive of all tailed beasts, and it smells the fear that makes it shudder from the opponent. It's all here. The masked monster's voice sounded again, and the teak door stood upside down because the voice came from behind her. A huge tail sprang out from the buttocks of the wooden door, and blue flames were about to cover the whole body. It's a pity that the distance is too short, and the speed of turning from the wooden door tail to a beast is too slow. A hand knife slashed heavily on Yumuman's fragile neck, and Yumuman fell into a coma when his eyes went dark. The blue flame on his body was also instantly extinguished. Then sit down. Only then did the second half of the masked man's words sound slowly. Matabi, long time no see. At the same time, a voice sounded in the sealed space of the teak door. Matabi, who originally planned to take over the body of the teak door, was slightly taken aback when he heard this familiar voice. Kurama. Chapter 91. So this is your JinchuRiki. After a brief communication with Nine Tails, Orway roughly understood the situation. Matabi, do you want to come out? I mean, do you want to be free? After a few words, Nine Tails said impatiently. However, his quick mouth disrupted Naruto's rhythm, and now Naruto can't wait to reward him with a big mouth. Old man Kurama always likes to be simple and rough, and doesn't like those corners. Single quote. Sure enough, Matabi was silent for a while and said, I think it's good to stay here. Free. Where is freedom in the outside world? It's just a bigger cage. No matter where we go, humans who covet our power will come after hearing the news. Drink. It's still a literary beast. Teak Gate is not a perfect JinchuRiki, but she has a good relationship with Matabi, and Matabi is willing to help her fight many times. Don't look at Matabi's long mustache, she is actually quite mild-tempered among tailed beasts. At least much gentler than Kurama. Okay, brat, are you thinking of something impolite? Single quote. Naruto sighed and interrupted the communication between the two tailed beasts. Is it Matabi with two tails? I'm not discussing this with you. I'm just letting you know. Matabi was silent again, and said, Kurama, is your JinchuRiki arrogant? Nine Tails bared her teeth, and said in a rare serious way, Matabi, I advise you not to refute Naruto's decision. You can say such a thing, Kurama, you have changed a lot. Matabi was taken aback when he heard the words, and said in surprise. Is this the most arrogant Nine Tails among the nine-tailed beasts? Matabi continued to say, Little devil, your name is Naruto, right? If you want me to obey you, it depends on whether you have the ability. Matabi's good temper is only relative to Kurama's. Even Six Tails, who has the best temper among the nine-tailed beasts, will throw a tailed beast cannon at the other party if he is in a hurry. Fight with me. Matabi thought that the danger it perceived before came from Kurama. After all, Kurama is recognized as the strongest among the nine-tailed beasts except Shukaku and Yuki, and it is much stronger. This, easy. Naruto rolled up his sleeves as he said, he was already ready. After all, Kurama told him before that the usual way for tailed beasts to communicate emotionally is to fight. Meow. Accompanied by a high-pitched meow, the body of the teak door in a coma was once again wrapped in blue flames. This time, without Naruto's stop, two tails soon grew from behind. Soon a big blue cat with strange patterns appeared in front of Naruto. Completely tailed. Hurry up and turn into a tailed beast. Even if you want to fight, Matabi's tone is very polite, which is different from a big fox that is doing nothing. Naruto said flatly, no need. Then I'm here. Hearing this, Matabi was no longer polite, and slapped Naruto. With one catch, I took a lonely shot. I saw Naruto appear under Matabi's huge claws. Under Matabi's curious eyes, he stretched out his hands to hug his paws, and then threw a beautiful over-the-shoulder throw. Matabi flew up and fell heavily on the ground, lying on his back with a suspicious expression on his face. Matabi, I was thrown over my shoulder by a human. Single quote. Matabi rolled over and got up, wanting to rush up to teach JinchuRiki of Nine Tails a lesson. As a result, Naruto appeared on top of Matabi's head in the next second, raised his fist high, and punched Matabi's head hard. Dwang. As if Matabi had been hit hard, His whole brain was buzzing, and his head was smashed into the ground, like an ostrich, and the surrounding land turned upside down. Of course, it was far from over. Naruto grabbed Matabi's tail and yanked it slightly, and the cat's head stuck in the ground was pulled out like a carrot. Then Naruto, who was pulling Matabi's tail, began to use both hands, swinging Matabi like a meteor hammer. Then hit the ground hard. 80. Meow. The shrill meow resounded throughout the sky, even the flames on his body dimmed a bit. The friendly exchange has only just begun. 80. Meow. 80. Meow. 80. Meow. It hit the ground one after another, and the whole ground trembled. At the beginning, the meowing was extremely miserable, but later on, the sound became smaller and smaller, and the flames on his body became dimmer, and in the end it was about to be extinguished at any time. When Matabi's body fell heavily on the ground again, the surrounding rubble almost buried it completely, and the blue-tailed beast coat that wrapped the teak door completely disappeared, and the teak door returned to its original appearance. It feels good. Naruto snapped his fingers, made a crisp sound, and then said, "The warm-up is over, now we need to get ready." Matabi's voice sounded in the hearts of Naruto and Kurama at the same time, with a hint of anxiety in the voice. "Kurama, I am very interested in your plan. When are we going to leave?" At this moment, Matabi finally understood that the fear he felt was not because of Kurama, but from Jinchuriki Naruto of Kurama. Naruto's eyes lit up. In this way, Matabi has recognized it. Fighting is indeed the best way to exchange feelings between tailed beasts. Single quote. Kurama's eyes lit up. Haha, another one with a back, I can't be the only one who gets hurt. Single quote. Matabi's eyes darkened. Kurama, you are not a son of man, where did you find such a thing as a Jinchuriki? Single quote. Let's go now, Naruto said, walking towards the teak door that fell into the pothole, ready to carry her away. Who dares to come to my Cloud Shinobi village to behave wildly? At this moment, an angry roar resounded throughout the entire Cloud Shinobi village, accompanied by thunder and lightning. A figure galloped towards the ground, and set off a tumbling wave. Soot. The person who came was a burly man in his 40s, with dark skin and slightly exaggerated pectoralis major. He wore a golden waist armor that resembled a championship belt around his waist. His bulging muscles were full of explosive power. With a green shuriken logo tattooed on both shoulders, thick armor on both arms, 2 mustaches on both sides of the lips, a short goatee on the chin, and a light yellow back. It is the 4th Raikage. How dare you destroy this place? I looked around and became even more angry. Because of the battle of one man and one beast just now, the Comfort Monument Cemetery in Cloud Shinobi Village has been smashed into a mess, and there is no intact grave around it. He came in front of Naruto in an instant, punched Naruto in the head without saying a word. The speed of the punch was so fast that there was a sonic boom. There were only 2 people present, one was the teak door lying unconscious in the pit, and the other was Naruto. 4th Raikage is not an idiot. He knows without thinking that it must be related to Naruto, no matter what the purpose is. Let's talk about it first. A very powerful fist. Naruto firmly caught 4th Raikage's heavy punch, which could break even steel plates. Good guy. 4th Raikage I called, good guy, directly. I was very clear about the strength of his fist. It was the strength that even Killer Bee, who was 8 Tails Jinchuriki, would be beaten to the ground. It seems that there is even room left. This is Tsunade Hime, one of the Tsukuko Asanin, another existence not inferior to her in strength. Who are you, masked? Naruto stared at 4th Raikage and said, you have bad breath. 4th Raikage, you fool, how dare you play me? At this moment, 4th Raikage's lungs were about to explode, and the word, D, on his forehead kept enlarging. He wanted to continue to attack, but found that his fist was being firmly held by Naruto, and the opponent's strength was so great that he couldn't pull his fist back for a while. This can only explain one problem: the opponent's strength is greater than his own. What is your purpose in breaking into Cloud Shinobi Village? After several deep breaths, 4th Raikage managed to calm down. Sure enough, with strong strength, he can do whatever he wants, even if he is impulsive like 4th Raikage. It is rare to suppress his anger. It's just the interest charged before the debt is collected. Are Cloud Shinobi and Naruto feuding? In a sense, there is hatred, and the hatred is not small, second only to Konoha and Mist Ninja. His mother Kushina was kidnapped once by Cloud Shinobi, and his future daughter-in-law Hinata was kidnapped twice by Cloud Shinobi, for which his uncle's father died. This incompetent Konoha will not come to you Cloud Shinobi to settle the matter, I will settle it. Single quote. I'll get you back a sum of money. Single quote. Let's charge some interest today. Single quote. Naruto is very vengeful, his heart is not much bigger than a needle. It is also very short-sighted. You can't get back the debt of bullying your mother and daughter-in-law. But it seems that only Rock Shinobi and Sand Shinobi of the 5 major countries have no enmity with themselves. No, the reputation of 4th generation seems to be killed by killing Rock Shinobi. Interest, debt. Facing Naruto's inexplicable answer in 4th Raikage's eyes, 4th Raikage couldn't hold back his anger any longer. He saw light blue chakra exuding from his body, and his combed back hair stood up one by one. Stand up. The old man can't understand what you are talking about at all. The blue chakra covered 4th Raikage's whole body, as if he had put on a thick layer of thunder armor, and electric arcs flashed continuously. This is the power of Raikage, lightning-style chakra mode. Activate the body through the thunder attribute chakra, greatly improving the quality, speed and strength of the body. Even Naruto couldn't help saying, "This trick is so cool, I want to learn it." Naruto originally had golden hair, if he learns this trick, he can cause Super Saiyan 2 directly. Lightning-style chakra's 4th Raikage struggled hard and pulled his fist back from Naruto's hand. Death. The roar of 4th Raikage rang in Naruto's ears, causing eardrums to swell, and he concentrated chakra on his elbow, and slammed into Naruto's hard elbow. Heavy storm. With this trick, the original 4th Raikage knocked Chongo back to his original form after entering the curse seal state for the 2nd time. In the face of 4th Raikage's all-out elbow, Naruto did not dodge, but his face under the mask showed a touch of excitement. I like pure martial arts fighting the most. In particular, the 4th Raikage in front of him is the #1 martial artist under the 8-gate guy among the living people in the ninja world. Sure enough, punching to the flesh is the romance of a man. Then come and touch. Naruto covered his whole body with chi, some of which were concentrated in his right hand, and when 4th Raikage's elbow was getting closer, he took the opportunity to attack suddenly. Guess the punch, cloth. Guessing boxing is Kakarot's Sun Wukong favorite move during the Dragon Ball adventure period. He has beaten Gui Shanren and General Lan, etc. Although he can't see this move in the later stage, he made a lot of contributions in the early stage of Dragon Ball. Legend has it that guessing boxing is transformed from ancient martial arts. Cloth is the palm used to destroy internal organs, scissors is the finger specially used to destroy parts of the ring, and stone is the fist to destroy the outside. Martial arts considered to be aimed at destruction, called evil fist, at the time, were ostracized and banned. To put it bluntly, it is a simple scissors, rock, paper, attacking the enemy in different ways. The elbow of 4th Raikage hit Naruto's palm heavily, generating a lot of wind pressure that rolled up a lot of debris, and even blew the tombstones turned out all around. Dang dang dang. 4th Raikage stepped back 5 steps in a row and almost fell down, but Naruto stood there motionless. Compete with each other. One punch, I'll blow you away. Naruto pointed at 4th Raikage and chuckled. That's a lot of strength, even stronger than that Tsunade woman. Single quote. 4th Raikage thought to himself that he once had a relationship with Tsunade, one of the legendary Sannin, and the two even broke their wrists once. It's just an ordinary match with Tsunade, and even though Tsunade is slightly higher than him in pure strength, 4th Raikage is confident in winning the battle. Come again. 4th Raikage didn't believe in evil, and once again concentrated the lightning-style chakra on his fist, this time he used 10% of his strength. Lightning straight. This move is not only full of destructive power, but also super fast. It is more powerful than the heavy explosion just now. Guess the punch, stone. Naruto chose to go back in the same way. The fist of 4th Raikage collided with Naruto's fist. 4th Raikage felt as if he had hit the steel plate. There was a sharp pain in his fist. The posture of fisting seems to be wrestling. Contemptuous laughter rang in his ears. 4th Raikage, nothing more. Before 4th Raikage could get angry, he felt an unrivaled force coming from the opponent's fist, and the next moment 4th Raikage flew into the air. Usually he was the one who beat others up, but this time it was himself who was beaten up. You fell down before I even tried. For the first time, this is the first time since 4th Raikage became a ninja, his strength was suppressed in the battle with lightning-style chakra mode turned on. 4th Raikage got up from the ground, panting like a bull, staring at Naruto with red eyes like an angry bull. So what's the strength? At best, he's just a fool. It seemed to be self-comforting and some kind of announcement to Naruto. A reckless man. Say me, seriously, being called a fool by 4th Raikage, Naruto suddenly wanted to laugh. No matter how powerful it is, it doesn't make any sense if you can't hit it. The next moment, 4th Raikage moved, and he moved again. What matters is the destructive power. Lightning-style double lariat. 4th Raikage in the lightning-style chakra state turned into a blue lightning and rushed towards Naruto at a high speed, with his raised right wrist like a huge axe at high speed. Are you smashing with the giant axe of the cosplayer Heavenly Prison Star Gordon? Single quote. But that one is much better than yours. Single quote. 4th Raikage under the blessing of lightning-style chakra mode, the speed is really fast to the ultimate that ordinary ninjas can achieve. But he was fast, Naruto was faster than him, as if predicting, he easily avoided 4th Raikage's killing blow by turning slightly sideways. It doesn't make sense for you to say that you can't hit, isn't it like this? Naruto's ridicule rang in Raikage's ears, but Raikage turned a deaf ear and continued to attack with a sullen head. Thunder bombs me. Seeing that double lariat missed, 4th Raikage immediately changed his moves. Integrating lightning-style chakra into physical attacks, it not only has physical attack, but also comes with lightning-style explosion damage, which is amazingly destructive. It's a pity that the movement range is too large, and the airflow generated makes it difficult for Naruto not to notice. Seeing that Naruto dodged his attack again, 4th Raikage was not depressed, but grinned. All the calculations were for this move. I saw blue electric light blooming from the whole body of 4th Raikage, illuminating the entire sky. Lateral bolt of pain. Chop. At this moment, 4th Raikage clasped his hands and fingers together in the shape of a hand knife, and his body spun at a high speed with a certain rhythm, as if he had turned into a humanoid meat grinder. When he was young, 4th Raikage cut off the left horn of 8 tails with this trick, and even split Uchiha Madara's Susanoo during the 4th Ninja World War in the original book. 4th Raikage is not as good as he looks, he is a simple and impulsive reckless man, this guy's combat IQ is not low. It's a pity that all of 4th Raikage's calculations were seen through by Naruto, and Naruto's fists turned into countless afterimages and swung towards 4th Raikage. Woo big wood big wood big wood big wood big. Lateral bolt of pain. Chop is broken by Naruto in the most primitive and violent way. His knife in his hand couldn't hurt Naruto at all, and even the Thunder Guy, who was known as the absolute defense, was shattered under Naruto's continuous attacks. Every fist of Naruto could leave a fist mark on 4th Raikage's body. 7 punches in all, Naruto left 7 punch marks on Raikage. With a final punch, 4th Raikage flew up and down like a rag doll. Master Raikage. A black figure came instantly, catching 4th Raikage's body the moment 4th Raikage fell. It was a young ninja with white hair and a long sword on his back. Known as the second hand of the 4th Raikage, Darui. There was a series of footsteps all around, and the other Cloud Shinobi were late. Master Raikage. Several Cloud Shinobi Village elites helped 4th Raikage up. The composition of Cloud Shinobi Village is actually very interesting. Dark-skinned and white-skinned people are mixed, and they are domineering. They like to be the first to give each other a hat, throw the blame Hinata's kidnapping incident, and rob other ninja villagers are the habit of things, and the chakra cannon, a technological weapon far superior to other ninja villages. Is there a familiar sense of déjà vu? Don't let that guy get away. 4th Raikage slowly straightened up with the support of several people, and the first sentence was related to Naruto. More than 40% of his bones were broken by Naruto, and his internal organs were damaged to varying degrees. It is a miracle that he did not die on the spot. Run. Naruto, who was planning to leave with the teak door, stopped and turned to look at 4th Raikage. You just said run, right? Ha 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 ha. Smelly brat. Destroy this village like the previous one. Nine Tails, who feared that the world would not be chaotic, laughed wildly in Naruto's heart. His favorite thing is watching Naruto beat Sabi or something. Oops. Seeing the murderous look in the single eye on the mask, 4th Raikage felt a little bit of a shock in his heart. He has seen Naruto's power, and although he doesn't want to admit it, he is truly unrivaled. The next moment, Naruto appeared less than 3 meters away from fourth Raikage, floating in the air and looking down at fourth Raikage. If you cut off your arm, I will let you go. There is an unquestionable tone in Haki's strong words. Several Cloud Shinobi who didn't know how to live or die rushed forward to attack Naruto in vain. Naruto just pressed the opponent's neck and squeezed lightly, and easily took the lives of these Cloud Shinobi. Then more Cloud Shinobi rushed over, and Naruto was like a wolf into a flock of sheep, as if he was in no man's land. Fists, toes, and even fingers could easily take the lives of Cloud Shinobi. No one is his single enemy. The current Naruto is like Dao Baibai in his first appearance, even his tongue can kill. But he doesn't have Dao Baibai's bad taste, he prefers fingers to killing people with his tongue. In just a moment, the Cloud Shinobi who rushed over poured a large piece of it. Stop. Fourth Raikage was furious. What qualifications does the weak have to make me stop? Naruto said lightly, piercing a Cloud Shinobi's head with a finger and taking his life. The eyes that looked at the ants with contempt deeply hurt fourth Raikage's heart. When has he, fourth Raikage, been looked down upon so much? At this moment, Darui, who was silent at the side, slowly drew out the long knife behind him. Landon Laser Circus. Several laser beams spewed out from Darui's mouth, exhaling like an arrow and pointing straight at Naruto. No, fourth Raikage was shocked. Naruto caught the travertine-piercing laser with one hand, and pinched Darui's long knife with 2 fingers. Go back. With a flick of a finger, the knife snapped. Darui also flew upside down. His strength is far worse than fourth Raikage. Teach you a lesson. The broken knife swished out and hit Darui's chest. He fell in a pool of blood, not knowing whether he was alive or dead. The old man told you to stop. Fourth Raikage pushed away Cloud Shinobi who was supporting him, roared to the sky, and blue arcs erupted all over his body again. Cooperating with a thunderbolt flashing across the sky, it is like a thunder god descending into the world. Master Raikage. The surrounding Cloud Shinobi shouted in surprise. The invincible Lord Raikage is back. As if greatly stimulated, fourth Raikage's speed and strength were faster and stronger than before he was injured. It's a pity that his opponent is Naruto who practiced Kamezen Ryu. Fourth Raikage's fist was firmly caught by Naruto. I want your arm, and that's it. Pulling hard, fourth Raikage's arm snapped, and then threw fourth Raikage out like trash. The invincible Raikage fell. Master Raikage. Cloud Shinobi John in linen clothes quickly caught fourth Raikage, and the surrounding Cloud Shinobi also rushed forward to surround fourth Raikage. Kill him to avenge Lord Raikage. As soon as he yelled a slogan, this Cloud Shinobi fell down, and there was a fingernail-sized hole between his brows. What killed him was just a pebble in Naruto's hand. The disrespectful dies, Naruto said lightly. The audience was silent, and no one dared to step forward. Oh, Cloud Shinobi. Naruto smiled sarcastically, and continued walking towards the teak door. Who the hell is your excellency? Ma Bui shouted bravely. Eight-Tails Jinchuriki is not here, fourth Raikage is seriously injured, and Darui, who is the right and left hand, is also alive and dead. Now she can only preside over the work. Even if you can't say a few harsh words, you must at least know the identity of the other party. I saw Naruto paused slightly, and glanced at a place without leaving a trace from the corner of his eye. Guoxin Layman. Naruto pointed to himself and continued. My name is Guoxin Layman, a disciple of Lord Madara. Guoxin Layman. Who? It's not just the linen clothes full of question marks. Master Madara's disciple. Linen secretly remembers that the identity of Madara is definitely the key. Fortunately, I have no intention of killing you for the time being, and I can live on for a while. Carrying the teak door and slowly rising in front of the Cloud Shinobi, Naruto's tone was full of contempt. All the Cloud Shinobi could only watch Naruto leave, and no one dared to stop him. With Naruto disappearing into the sky, after a while, on the branch of a big tree not far away, the space was distorted, and a figure of a man wearing the same spiral mask emerged. At the same time, fourth Raikage slowly opened his eyes with the help of the Cloud Shinobi village medical ninja, and then the familiar roar resounded through the sky, but this time the roar carried some weakness. Bring Bai back to me. Fourth Raikage, who was covered in bandages, had a gloomy and terrifying expression. Next time we meet, this old man must kill him. Brother AB is going to come back again. With the chakra cannon, the Sage of Six Paths Noble Phantasm Amber, plus the 8 Tails JinchuRiki and 4th Raikage, it might be impossible to fight the fruit-hearted layman. This is what Cloud Shinobi is about, and this is what 4th Raikage is about. That night, the Sage of Six Paths treasure, Amber, was stolen and a node was left behind. It's a good thing, it's mine now. Single quote. Lady Guoxin. Madara. This old man vows to kill you. A mouthful of old blood spewed out again, and 4th Raikage, who finally recovered, fell down again. Master Madara's disciple. Obito kept repeating the name that Naruto said casually, and he had a vague guess in his heart. The entire ninja world can teach a character of this level, and he can also be honored as Lord Madara. There has been one and only one since ancient times. The dignified Obito under the mask slowly spit out a few words, Ninja Shura Uchiha Madara. Then he muttered to himself again, that horrible strange power has become stronger again. That must be the power of the Mangekyo Sharingan pupil technique, it should be the eternal Mangekyo now. Only the invincible Mangekyo Sharingan has this effect. Obito thought firmly. It is the pupil technique of the body technique system, and its attributes are more inclined to strength. He had seen a similar pupil technique before, but it was more agile. Mangekyo Sharingan has a variety of pupil arts, including Tsukuyomi, distinguished heavenly gods of the illusion department, Kamui of the space department, and even Amaterasu, the unquenchable flame. It's a pity that Obito doesn't know Chi, let alone Saiyans, and the magical world where you can make a wish if you collect 7 beads. Unlimited unknown adventures and endless powerful enemies make people fascinated. At the beginning, I was wondering why you took Uchiha away, so it turned out to be like this. Obito stood there and said to himself, his tone gradually became affirmative, it was to advance to Sharingan. If I hadn't helped Itachi destroy Uchiha on a whim, you probably wouldn't have appeared. No wonder even Ju couldn't find any trace of you. Because you all belong together. All of you kidding me alone. Obito thought of the hooligan who usually played himself, the guy who yelled and wanted to know what to do all day long. Added another sentence. It should be part of the same group. I can't be fooled by that stupid thing. Take away JinchuRiki. Did you notice my abnormality? Obito's brows gradually relaxed, as if he had figured everything out. Besides the spell in my heart and the incarnation of your will, it turns out that you still have a hand. If it wasn't for this chance, I'm afraid I wouldn't find out until I die. He should have thought a long time ago, how, as Uchiha Madara, a ninja Shura, who has been lurking in the dark for decades, could only pin his hopes on the tail of his former crane. Even if he turned on Mangekyo, even if he has first Hokage cells in his body. Black Zetsu, the incarnation of will, assisting himself. It is right to monitor yourself. The existence of this Guoxin layman is like what I did to Nagato. One ring after another, one set after another. If I hadn't wanted to destroy the Uchiha clan, if I hadn't passed by Cloud Shinobi village on a whim today, I'm afraid I would have been kept in the dark until my death. And who knows if there is Uchiha Madara behind this Guoxin layman. As expected of you, Uchiha Madara. Obito stared at the sky with a more solemn expression than ever before. I don't know what level Shanji's Uchiha Obito can imagine, I'm really looking forward to it. Single quote. Naruto, who was carrying the teak door, thought to himself. The world of Ninja World is not only the 5 major countries, but also has a large area of land in the extreme north and the extreme east. It's just that the environment in these places is very harsh, so there are no human beings living there. But such a harsh environment is nothing to the tailed beast. It's just that because of the will of Sage of Six Paths before his death, and because of his playful nature, tailed beast likes to run to crowded places. For humans, even the weakest tailed beast is very dangerous. The Kingdom of Thunder continued to go north to the extreme north, and at Naruto's speed, it flew at full speed and soon arrived at a deserted island. There are some strange-looking large insects and animals that are many times larger than ordinary creatures. Fist-sized mosquitoes like those in the Death Forest, and centipedes several meters long are only at the bottom of the food chain here. These species are quite difficult for humans, especially ordinary humans, but for tailed beasts, probably just food. Naruto found a random place and dropped the teak door on the ground, and began to check the seal on her body. Compared with Sand Shinobi's imperfect tailed beast seal, Cloud Shinobi's seal is obviously much more perfect, but it is worse than Konoha's 8-sign seal. Naruto unsealed the seal on the body of the teak door, and released Neo Matabi. The moment Urwei came to the world again, the teak door lost its life. If the tailed beast is separated from the body, unless the vitality is very strong, the Jinchuriki will surely die. Ah, it's the taste of freedom. The released Matabi was very excited. It has been so many years since he was captured by humans that he has not been able to breathe freely in the outside world. Who wants to stay in a cold, damp and small sealed space if they can come out? Not everyone can arbitrarily change the environment of the sealed space like Naruto. Matabi, I fulfilled my promise to give you freedom. Looking at Matabi, who was bouncing around like a husky, Naruto continued, but you need to sign a summoning contract with me. If necessary, I will summon you. Of course, if you can also reversely summon me when you encounter danger, and my ability can help you solve most of the problems. Okay, it's not a big deal just to be summoned by summoning, and there will be another powerful helper. Matabi thought of Naruto's terrifying power and agreed without thinking. Looking at the place where Matabi disappeared, Naruto patted his stomach and said sincerely, Kurama, if you also want to be free, I will let you out one day. 1 second, 10 seconds and a half minutes. Naruto didn't hear Kurama's reply for a long time after speaking. Usually, he had already been arguing, why is he so obedient today? Could it be that she was moved and cried? That would be a good laugh. With that in mind, Naruto entered the sealed space. In a trance, Naruto suddenly found that there seemed to be some changes in the sealed space. There is a feeling of déjà vu. You brat with a tail, don't run away, I'm going to eat you. The huge roar of 9 tails echoed throughout the sealed space. Naruto. An inexplicable excitement welled up in Naruto's heart. Could it be, the teacher is here. Wait, brat, single quote. Naruto was startled, and ran towards the sealed gate as fast as he could. What caught my eye was a little boy wearing an orange-yellow Taoist uniform and carrying a red stick on his back, half a head shorter than Naruto. Remarkably, the toddler has a constantly waving tail growing from his ass. Most importantly, this kid is riding on the head of 9 tails lying on the ground. More importantly, Naruto clearly saw that 9 tails was beaten to the ground by him. Wow, such a big fox is enough for me to eat for a long time. Saying so, the brat raised his right hand again towards 9 tails' head. Keep the fox, Naruto yelled with the loudest voice in his life, and his own speed was pushed to the limit. If you take a step back, you might be able to eat fox soup today. Huh, there's someone here, who are you? The little boy with a tail let go of his fist, turned to Naruto and asked curiously. Naruto heaved a sigh of relief seeing that the opponent didn't land that last punch. This old man is going to eat you. The little boy with the tail stopped his movements, but 9 tails frowned. He was beaten badly by the sudden appearance of the little devil's head. 2 huge paws slapped the little boy fiercely. Kurama, stop. Naruto was shocked when he saw this scene. 9 tails, don't kill yourself. Naruto recognized the little boy's identity at the first sight. Kakarot's growing up, Goku. It's just that I don't know how long it was little Wukong. Are you coming? Little Wukong easily dodged 9 tails' attack, and made a gesture that Naruto was all too familiar with. Stop hitting. You really will kill the fox like this. The upper limit of power in the world of Dragon Ball is too high. Just look at yourself and you will know how terrifying Chi is. Naruto is really not sure what level the other party's strength is in the ninja world. What to do if you were reborn somewhere? In desperation, Naruto only felt that something was about to come out from behind, and with the flash of 2 black lights, he saw 2 thick chains bursting out from behind Naruto, binding Kurama and Goku upright. I'm going, adamantine sealing chains. Naruto stared blankly at the black chain growing from his back. It turned out that in a hurry, he used the unique ability of the Uzumaki clan. This move can not only be used as a powerful attack weapon, but also can be used to create an enchantment and seal the tailed beast. It is a move that restrains the tailed beast even more than Sharingan. Aren't adamantine sealing chains all golden chains? Why is this me black? Naruto looked at the black chains growing from behind him in a daze. Kurama will be honest when he is tied up with chains. He is very familiar with this trick, and he was often tied up by Kushina before. Little Wukong was much more dishonest. I saw that he was bound upright by the chains and was trying to break free, but no matter how hard he tried, he couldn't break free. Could it be little Wukong who just came out of Baozi Mountain? Single quote. Naruto looked at it thinking so, and saw the orange-yellow Taoist uniform on Xiao Wukong's body. At least it's little Wukong when he participated in the Budo tournament. Single quote. Wait, don't fight, don't fight. Naruto hurriedly came to Xiao Wukong. During the Budo tournament, Xiao Wukong was 12 to 15 years old, and his age should be older than or equal to the little Naruto, but he is shorter than the 12-year-old Naruto now, half the head. I can untie it for you, but can you stop hitting that big fox? Seeing that Naruto didn't seem to be malicious, Xiao Wukong nodded. As long as he doesn't attack me, I don't need to hit him. Kurama, I'll untie it for you and don't attack him anymore, okay? Kurama turned his head to one side, and said proudly, HMPH, just for your sake. Dead Tsunere. Very good. Seeing that both of them agreed to a truce, Naruto took the adamantine sealing chains back into his body. Wow, you are so powerful. Little Wukong, who was unbound, looked at Naruto curiously and said, what was that thing just now? Adamantine sealing chains, a little trick not worth mentioning. Naruto explained vaguely. Anyway, you can't understand Xiao Wukong when you explain it seriously. My name is Sun Wukong. Uzumaki Naruto. The two briefly introduced themselves. That Goku, I can call you that. Do you know how you got here? Naruto couldn't wait to ask the question he wanted to know the most. I don't know. Wukong frowned, folded his hands, and thought for a long time, where is this place? Is it also the trial of Immortal Karin? Immortal Karin. Naruto paused in his heart. Peach bye-bye period. Little Wukong tried to explain. It's a cat, he's very strong. Karin, Jalen, fairy, a big white fairy cat that has lived for more than 800 years. If Naruto didn't know the plot, ordinary people would probably not understand it when they heard this statement. Naruto shook his head. I don't know him. But I know him. Sit on this. Naruto materialized a cushion and handed it to Goku. Then he materialized another one and sat on it by himself. Little Wukong's eyes lit up. It's amazing. But he didn't sit down in a hurry, but thought of something, walked around Naruto, and asked curiously. Are you a boy or a girl? Then he stretched out his hand and patted Naruto's crotch. I'm a man. Naruto caught Xiao Wukong's claws with quick eyesight and quick hands. Oh, you're a boy. Naruto, I want to beat you up, can I? In the early days, Xiao Wukong had the habit of taking pictures of other people's crotch to identify men and women, so he got a wife, Chi-Chi, the daughter of the Bull Demon King. Is it true that you can't remember anything? Naruto asked incredulously. Little Wukong frowned and tried to recall, and found that there was something bulging in his chest, and stretched out his hand to take it out. I saw him take out a beige-colored cup. I remembered. Little Wukong's eyes lit up when he saw the cup, and then his eyes gradually became sharper, and at the same time, he exuded an amazing aura. I drank the super divine water given by Immortal Karin. I want to avenge Grandpa Turtle and Karin. Naruto seemed to see a roaring giant ape behind the little Goku. It turned out to be the little Goku from the time of Piccolo, so I asked why he had such a strong aura. No, Xiao Wukong's habit of patting his crotch has disappeared in the 22nd Budo tournament. Naruto analyzed on one side, and Nine Tails on the other side's eyelids twitched under the aura of Xiao Wukong. What's the matter with this kid who just popped up out of nowhere? Why so strong? Single quote. Also applaud Naruto for preventing them from continuing to fight. It's really going to kill the fox. Then Naruto stared at the cup in Goku's hand, and he saw that there was still a little transparent liquid at the bottom of the cup. Naruto stretched out his hand tremblingly, pointed at the teacup and said, "Can you give me that thing?" This is the cup that contains super divine water. If you want it, I will give it to you. Little Wukong was generous and handed over the cup directly. Naruto took the cup and looked at the little supernatural water remaining at the bottom. His heart was pounding. Is this teacup real? Is Goku an entity? Naruto holding the cup can tell you with certainty that this is an entity, and Xiao Wukong is also an entity, which belongs to the same nature as the Nine Tails in Naruto's body. Chao Shenshui is the only supreme holy product that can develop potential in the Dragon Ball world except Kaiwangshan Dance and Great Elders, development. However, it is worth noting that this thing has a very serious side effect. According to Karin Immortal, from ancient times to the present, there have been a total of 14 powerful martial arts masters who challenged Xiao Shenxui, but only Xiao Wukong successfully challenged, and everyone else died. Super divine water is essentially highly poisonous water, which can become stronger if it is not poisoned. As Yaki Luobe, who accompanied Xiao Wukong to Gai Linta, just tasted a drop of it and was so uncomfortable that he died. But it cannot be denied that this thing is definitely a good thing. Sealing technique. Taking out a scroll, Naruto carefully kept the Super Shenxui. Even if you don't use it now, you can use it later. Gululu. There was a thunderous sound, and Xiao Wukong sat down on the mat limply holding his stomach. Very hungry. Hey, Naruto, do you have something to eat? Without waiting for Naruto to reply, Xiao Wukong took it out of his pocket again. I only have one of these. A green bean was pulled out, and the bean was similar in appearance to a pea. The moment Naruto saw the bean, he was deeply attracted. Fairy bean. Single quote. Another big bug item in the world of Dragon Ball, it is known as a super healing holy product that can revive with full blood and full state as long as there is one breath in addition to disease and natural death. This thing is called a fairy bean. It's amazing that you don't need to eat for 10 days after eating one. I'll give you half of it. Little Wukong said as he was about to break the fairy bean in his hand into two. As long as you are not malicious, Xiao Wukong is very generous. Wait, Naruto said in a hurry, the existence of fairy beans is no different from a second life. If you eat them just to fill your stomach, it would be too wasteful. Although I don't have fairy beans, I have these. Naruto said, flipping his hands, and a pile of delicacies filled the entire sealed space. Roasted chicken, roasted goose, braised duck, sauce chicken, soft fried loin, pork, soft fried chicken, fried pork head, tonkatsu ramen, tomato ramen, miso ramen, curry ramen, shio ramen, soy sauce ramen, chicken white soup ramen, egg fried rice, guailu rice, yongzhou fried rice, sauce meat bun, beef bun. Yes, it's beef buns. The one for $3. It is full of staple food and hard dishes. The oncoming aroma made Xiao Wukong's mouth water. In the true sense, the mouth is drooling, and there is already a small puddle of water on the ground. Wukong, can you give me Shondo? Here you are. Little Wukong stuffed the fairy bean into Naruto's hand without thinking. Little Wukong pointed to the pile of food and asked impatiently, then can I eat these things? Eat as much as you want. Ho ho. The next second, little Wukong rushed towards the delicious food. Fairy beans get. Naruto carefully put the celestial beans into the sealed scroll. On the outside of the scroll was written a huge word of destiny. The existence of Shondo is simply a second life. In the sealed space, Naruto can't be said to be a god, at least he can be regarded as half a god. He can change the environment of the space at will, and even manifest anything. The only disadvantage is that the realized things cannot be brought to the real world. The essence is a mixture of Naruto's chakra, chi and some special energy. Recently, Naruto has eaten a lot of ramen, so a bunch of ramen series have emerged. As for whether you can eat, the answer given by Xiao Wukong is, "It's so delicious," said little Wukong after eating a bowl of fried rice, and then he started to chew on a big pig's head. Savage brat. Ninetails looked at the rather unsightly eating little Wukong and said with disdain. Little Wukong is not called eating, but plugging. Any food is chewed and swallowed. 20 minutes later. Is this kid a monster? Single quote. Kurama looked like he had seen a ghost, and the mountain of food disappeared at a speed visible to the naked eye, and within half an hour it all went into Xiao Wukong's stomach. The belly is like a black hole in another dimension. No matter how much food is stuffed, it only bulges slightly. How big is the stomach of a Saiyan is simply one of the top 10 unsolved mysteries in anime. I'm full, hiccup. When the food in the last bowl was swept away, Xiao Wukong stretched out his swollen belly and lay contentedly on the mat. Kurama. Stinky brat. What's wrong Kurama? Kurama. Give me one too. I think I'm hungry. 3 minutes later. Oh, it's so delicious. Kurama said with a satisfied expression on his mouth full of rice grains. Doraemon, Doraemon, let me see your pocket. Naruto leaned closer to Goku, trying to get something good out of his pocket. However, little Wukong really has nothing but the Rui stick on his back. Forget it, getting a little remaining super divine water and a fairy bean is already a windfall, and it would be too greedy to want something else. After eating and drinking enough, little Wukong clamored to seek revenge from Piccolo after resting for a while. It is a pity. The perfect son Wukong, who has been practicing for a period of time on the king of the world, can't get out of the sealed space, let alone this little Wukong who just drank the super god water. Even if he tried his best, he still couldn't leave the sealed space for half a step. Even if he can leave the sealed space, he will only find himself in another world. How to return to the world of Dragon Ball, this is a problem. Before Kakarot, the adult version of Monkey King, disappeared inexplicably. Naruto can be explained by being resurrected. The little Wukong in front of him is obviously alive without the halo on his head, so there is no such thing as resurrection. What is the principle? There must be something wrong with the sealed space in my body, maybe there is a bigger secret hidden, but I don't know what it is. At the same time, a thought came to Naruto's mind. Since the living Monkey King can come here, in theory, he can also go to the world of Dragon Ball. Of course this is only theoretical. Furthermore, if Naruto is really allowed to go to the Dragon Ball world, he really has to think about it. If he arrives in the future world of Dragon Ball, Naruto will not be able to bear the close-to-face of the android. Little Wukong's mental adjustment ability is super strong. Seeing that he couldn't return to the Guilin Temple, little Wukong put his arms around and began to think, but within a moment, his eyes turned to Naruto. Naruto, you are very strong, let's fight. Xiao Wukong said, looking eager to try. Has the spirit of martial idiot in the body exploded? Let's play then. Naruto also wants to know what level he is currently in the Dragon Ball world. It is good. Cut. Two brats. Kurama was lying in the corner of the sealed space with a look of disdain. However, the corner of his eyes that glanced at the two of them from time to time betrayed him. Right pointing arrow. Leaf Great Whirlwind. Naruto transformed into a golden flash. Before being kicked by Naruto in the afterimage fist, little Wukong turned into a phantom. However, it was easily seen through by Naruto, who could sense the breath. In the next second, Naruto appeared above Goku. Naruto Lion Combo. Monkey Punch. Little Wukong turned into an ape and quickly avoided Naruto's attack. Although he has not fully mastered breath perception, he can still achieve the same effect with his amazing intuition. Little Wukong. Ah da da da. Naruto. Ah da da da. Little Wukong. Kame Pai Qigong. Naruto. Kamehei Qigong. As the fight between Naruto and Goku gradually escalated, Kurama's expression also changed from dismissive at the beginning to interested and then to suspicious of Fox. Who is the monster, me or you? Single quote. Kurama took out a small notebook from his hairy belly, opened the first page, and stroked heavily on the top column. My title of strongest monster has to be crossed out today. I have a little Kakarot in my body. Naruto said to himself while touching his belly, with a smile on his face unconsciously, and then flew at full speed in the direction of Sand Shinobi Village. Half a day later, Sand Shinobi Village ancestral graves were dug up. Under the leadership of 4th Kazekage, a group of Sand Shinobi rushed out and searched for the prisoner all over Sand Shinobi Village, but found nothing. One day later, Naruto came to Rain Shinobi Village, but he didn't enter the village, but was looking for something nearby. Where are they? Usually they are everywhere. Why haven't I seen one for a long time today? Saying that, Naruto expanded the range of chi perception until he found a white creature on a tree trunk 50 kilometers away from Rain Shinobi Village. Found it. Naruto appeared behind the white creature as quickly as possible, knocking it unconscious with a single chestnut before the opponent could react. Then Naruto cast a seal on the white creature. He carried the white creature and headed towards the Rain Shinobi Village again. Always bring something. Not empty-handed all the time. I'm back. Naruto easily walked through the barrier of Rain Shinobi Village, and went directly to the room where Nagato was. When he entered, he saw Konan. So you live here in Nagato? You just get married where you are. Single quote. Senior. Nagato said respectfully. Konan was still staring at Naruto with a little vigilance, halfway in front of Nagato. There is a girl who treats you so well, Nagato, you should marry her, it's not a loss. Single quote. Then the two saw the white creature in Naruto's hand. Absolutely. The two said in unison. This white creature is also a member of the Akatsuki organization. Its name is Ju. It has black and white sides. There is only one black creature, and there are hundreds of thousands of white creatures. In Naruto's hand, this is just one of the white half. Naruto held the sealed white zetsu and waved it in front of the two. I saw several outside, so I grabbed one by the way, and it just works. By the way, absolutely hidden ability Nagato knows, it's really a real one. Even if Nagato didn't pay attention, he might not be able to find it, but Naruto easily saw it through. As expected of the ancestors, Nagato made up his mind silently. But what to do? Single quote. Nagato had no idea what Naruto was going to do next. What does it have to do with Ju? Naruto passed Konan and walked in front of Nagato. Since little Nagato, you are not willing to absorb the chakra of the tailed beast, and you are not willing to suspend the use of the immortal eye. That can only be sacrificed by my old bones. Senior, what do you think? No way. Nagato shouted quickly, but Naruto's hand was already on his shoulder. Nagato only felt that there was a pure and extremely warm force coming from Naruto's hands. The 130 trillion cells in his body seemed to be thrown into a hot spring, and his whole body was numb, so comfortable that he almost cried out. Nagato, are you all right? Konan asked worriedly, but didn't stop him. Because she could clearly see that Nagato's pale face was rosy, and his skinny body was filling up at an extremely slow speed. It was slow, but for Konan, who knew every inch of Nagato's body, it was visible to the naked eye. It's all right. Nagato signaled to Konan that he was fine, and then looked at Naruto with worried eyes. Senior, what is this for? It's okay, it's okay. Naruto waved his hands, and said in a voice that was more than twice as hoarse, it's enough for my decayed and broken body to be useful. Nagato burst into tears with excitement. Except for Konan and Yahiko, it was the first time anyone treated him so well. But he didn't stop Naruto. I will definitely make good use of the legacy of the old ancestors to create a world that Yahiko, the old ancestors, dreamed of. Single quote. This will be called the ancestors, it's so realistic. Single quote. Konan was also moved by Naruto's spirit of sacrifice. But she didn't stop Naruto either. Senior, I will bring you a bouquet of white flowers on this day next year. Single quote. I'm not dead yet. Naruto behind the mask rolled his eyes. Nagato and Konan have already passed the age of enthusiasm. They have experienced the beginning of the dawn and then they were destroyed. They have seen their companions pass away, and they have given up a lot of things. For Nagato, as long as the ideal can be realized, no matter how many sacrifices are made, it doesn't matter. As for Konan, as long as Nagato gets well, she can do anything. The two of them are not some Shioner with cerebral palsy who is going to destroy the world when he gets hot. He obviously has other choices but insists on going his own way. I regretted it after escaping the mouth. I can only say that it is really cerebral palsy. My body. Nagato's originally dry and flat body gradually plumped up, and he could feel the gradually filling chakra in his body, his strong hands, and even his appearance seemed to gradually become younger. Nagato is only in his early 30s now, and his skinny appearance makes him look at least 10 years older. At this moment, Naruto's body shook slightly, leaning forward slightly as if he was about to fall. Ancestor, are you okay? Nagato quickly supported Naruto, and inadvertently touched Naruto's arm, which was not as strong and powerful as before, but became wrinkled, just like the skin of a 70 or 80-year-old man, as if in an instant, he was decades older. It's not in the way. Naruto quickly hid his hands in the wide sleeves, as if he didn't want to be seen by Nagato. Seeing this, Rao has a firm belief like Nagato, and he can't help but feel guilty towards Naruto in his heart. It actually consumed almost 1/10 of my chakra, it's so terrifying. Fortunately, this meeting has been restored. Single quote. Nagato, you recovered. You really recovered. Looking at Nagato, who had mostly recovered, Konan covered his mouth in amazement. Tears of excitement could no longer be restrained from the corners of his eyes. Over the years, she has been looking forward to today's scene all the time. No, to be precise, it's only half done. Naruto said and pointed to the black stick still stuck in Nagato's back. As long as this thing is still there, as long as you continue to use that power, it won't take long for you to return to the way you were before. Your body has been overdrawn too much. Senior, You must have a way, you must have a way. Conan repeated twice in a row. It was about Nagato, and this, cold angel, couldn't be as calm as before. Of course, that's what I've been doing these days. It's just that there's no need to delay 3 days for simply transporting chakra. Pretending to be strenuous, Naruto rested for a long time before standing up tremblingly under the guilty eyes of Nagato and Conan. Conan changed his previous defense and stepped forward to help Naruto up. That's the solution, Naruto said and looked at the sealed white zetsu. Runes spread all over the room, and things like soil and leaves emerged on the ground, wrapping white zetsu's body layer by layer. This technique requires a sacrifice, and the more adaptable the sacrifice is, the more powerful it can be. White zetsu with Senju Hashirama cells is the best offering. Yin Si Shu Chen. Naruto clasped his hands together after finishing the mudra, and then slapped the ground with his palm. Summoning Reanimation Jutsu. Reanimation Jutsu, one of Orochimaru's cards, can summon the dead to serve the caster. Naruto got it from Orochimaru in the name of Danzo. Since it is not a 5-element escape technique, Naruto learned it very quickly. Now Naruto can basically master it. With the sinking of White Zetsu's body, a coffin made of solid wood slowly rose from the ground. This technique, Nagato's eyes widened. He felt a nice chakra wave inside the coffin. The coffin slowly opened. A hand stretched out, followed by human limbs and bodies. This is a dark-skinned middle-aged man wearing a high-necked windbreaker, oily gold paint on his nose, and a bun with a rough appearance. Second Raikage. The release of impure world reincarnation needs to meet 3 conditions. 1. A certain amount of physical body of the deceased, and those who do not meet this condition cannot be reincarnated. 2. The body of the living is used as a container for the soul of the deceased, and the soul of the deceased is attached to the container. 3. The soul of the reincarnated person must exist in the Pure Land. If the soul has been sealed, it cannot be summoned. With White Zetsu as an offering, the latter 2 conditions must be met. It was this amount of flesh, but Naruto dug a little bit of Cloud Shinobi's ancestral grave. The bones are scraped clean, and only enough to summon second Raikage once. Fortunately, if the caster does not take the initiative to cancel, the duration of the impure world reincarnation is infinite. The name of this art is Impure World Reincarnation, and it was created by the little Tobirama of Konoha village. Naruto explained to Nagato and Conan, it is an art that can summon the dead. Impure World Reincarnation is a technique Nagato saw Orochimaru used before, and he really didn't like this technique of playing with the dead. At the same time, he was also a little puzzled. What does Naruto Impure World Reincarnation second Raikage do? Nagato's current situation is constantly being squeezed by Geto statue and Rinnegan, especially the amount of chakra needed by Geto statue is huge, and the chakra produced in his body is not enough to support, so Nagato can only overdraw his vitality. The way to restore Nagato and no longer overdraw his vitality is also very simple, find the supply source of chakra. Tailed Beast is naturally the best choice, and Nagato becoming JinchuRiki can make up for chakra's consumption to a certain extent. But Nagato was unwilling, so this choice was naturally given up. Except for the Tailed Beast, only the 3 fairylands in the legend meet the requirements. Naruto can't sense the location of those 3 places, so he can only give up. Next is Impure World Reincarnation, or the characteristic of Impure World Reincarnation, infinite chakra. The Tailed Beast is sealed into the human body, that is JinchuRiki, which can provide chakra in battle. Then sealing the body of Impure World Reincarnation into Nagato's body can also get chakra. Naruto just wants to use the bug feature of the infinite chakra of Impure World Reincarnation to provide Nagato with a steady stream of chakra for him to drive Geto statue. In this way, there is no need to remove the Rinnegan to rest, nor to consume the Tailed Beast. Simply put, it is equivalent to playing the role of a power bank. Well, the Impure World Reincarnation brand power bank. Ancestor, do you mean to seal him into my body? Nagato looked at the demented second Raikage, and found it hard to accept for a while. It always feels a bit weird to seal a person into one's own body. As a power bank, the Impure World Reincarnation body only needs to provide chakra, so Naruto erased his consciousness so that the image of dementia is now. This is almost the best way. Naruto nodded, his tone unquestionable, unless you agree with the 2 methods I said before. Just seal the seal, the ancestor tried so hard to save himself, I can't let him down. 8-sign seal, a seal formed by superimposing two 4-image seals, is also the technique used to seal 9 tails on Naruto. Naruto intends to seal second Raikage into Nagato with the 8-sign seal. In the past few years, with 4th generation as his teacher, Naruto has learned a lot of things, such as sealing, enchantment, and summoning. Except for the 5 elements, Naruto can learn other things very quickly. Although not an all-rounder, Naruto can barely understand most of the things. 8-sign seal, second Raikage's body was entwined with black tadpole-like runes, gradually distorted and deformed, and the body began to shrink gradually, and soon Nagato had a black Uzumaki pattern on his abdomen. How is it, Nagato? Konan hurried forward and asked, is there any discomfort? Nagato touched his abdomen. It feels weird, I feel a little nauseous, as if I'm full. But chakra doesn't have that sense of passing. Nagato clenched his fists tightly. At this moment, he only felt that his body was better than ever. A steady stream of chakra was drawn from second Raikage's body and sent to all parts of his body, and he no longer had the feeling of being hollowed out from time to time. It's all thanks to the ancestors. Thank you, Senior, Konan said sincerely. At present, there is almost no one who can defeat Nagato in the entire ninja world, except for Naruto, unless those old things in the Pure Land come out. Not even Obito, unless he retrieves another Mangekyo. The tailed beast is sealed into Naruto's body and is called JinchuRiki. So what is Nagato called now? Impure World Reincarnation JinchuRiki. I heard that you created an organization, little Nagato. Naruto asked aloud. Nagato answered honestly, with a respectful attitude, yes, ancestor. The name is Akatsuki. People say that an old family is like a treasure. The ancestor of my family is really powerful. He has lived for nearly 1,000 years and can do everything. I summoned S-class rebels from all over the world. The S-class rebel Kakuzu you saw earlier is one of them. He is currently in the fundraising stage. Nagato told Naruto about the situation of Akatsuki organization. Arrange, let me join in as a trainee. Naruto stated his purpose. Little Nagato, let me see what step you can do. Nine Tails JinchuRiki joined Akatsuki. Just thinking about it makes me feel emotional. Nagato said respectfully, we will not disappoint our ancestors. Senior, I'll arrange it. Konan volunteered, and she recruited the Red Sand Scorpion from Sand Shinobi Village. There is no need to worry too much, I need to go back and recuperate for a while. Naruto's tired voice made Nagato and Konan feel guilty again. Just in a month's time. In 2 months the Chunin exam will begin. Kato died, in his own home. His eyes widened when he died, as if he had seen something terrifying. He hired a lot of Ronin samurai with little combat effectiveness, thinking that with these Ronin samurai, he could fight against ninjas, and he didn't even care about not beheading them. After learning the news that Zabuza was killed, he organized his men to attack Dazna. It's a pity that he died tragically at home before he could implement it, and all his subordinates were killed by none of them. The era of the samurai has not passed, but it has never risen in front of the ninja. This world has been dominated by ninjas from more than 1,000 years ago to the present. Mission completed. With a strong flick, the bloodline on the Taidao was thrown off, and slowly put back into the scabbard. A black-clothed ninja looked at Kato's body and said so, wearing a small radio headset by his ear. Uchiha Schwanming, the first Uchiha member to complete the enlightenment test outside of Tiehuo, Quan, Yatsushiro, and Daohuo, is a rising star among the existing Uchiha clan. Thank you. Naruto's voice came from the headset. To be precise, it was Shadow Clone's voice. Hearing this, Uchiha Schwanming straightened his body and said respectfully, it is my honor to serve you. Naruto's status in the hearts of the existing Uchiha tribe is 3 points higher than that of the patriarch. Those Uchihas adored him immensely. This is inseparable from Fugaku behind the scenes. Tell the others to incorporate Kaduo's forces in the shortest possible time. This is a big fat pig, and he won't have to worry about funds for a long time. On the surface, Cardo is the president of a shipping company, but in fact he controls the economies of several small countries behind his back, using all means to plunder the local people's hearts and minds, and that's how he became the world's leading rich man. Guess how rich he is. That's a number that even Naruto couldn't help but be moved by when he learned about his assets. It's a pity that the vision is too low. As an ordinary person, I can't tell the huge gap between ninjas and Ronin warriors. Coupled with being too stingy, Touche hired a large number of Ronin and gave up the more expensive ninja. I really don't know whether to say he is stupid or desperate for money. It's just a big piece of fat walking. If anyone dares to stop, kill without mercy. If you have difficulties, you can ask the Fengmo family to help you. The Fengmo family can also be called the Fengmo family. It is a declining family in the ninja world, and they dream of revitalizing the family. Good at using shuriken, the Fuma shuriken is their iconic ninja tool. The research on chakra is very deep, but it is a pity that it is gradually eliminated by the ninja world because there is no blood succession limit. This clan barely intersects with Orochimaru and Pain. Currently, one of the 6 paths of Pain, the Beast Path, is the ninja of the Fuma clan. It's just that there are almost no official appearances, and it belongs to the ninja in the setting. In the past few years, it has been subdued by the 4th generation and currently plays the role of Uchiha's vassal. After all, relying on Uchiha alone is not enough to do things, and the character of the Uchiha family is not suitable for many jobs, so it is better to be a sharp knife honestly. Make good use of the funds of the shipping group and make full use of the chakra armor. The more the better, it will be of great use later. The chakra armor is a characteristic of the Snow Kingdom, and it was developed by its monarch Feng Hua Nudao with more than 10 years of energy. A special armor with a certain attack power, which can create a barrier to block ninjutsu and illusion, enhance the ninja's defense, and can also be equipped with wings. It is equivalent to the infinitely degraded version of the steel suit. For civilian ninjas, this thing is a life-saving tool. The current snow country in the extreme north was captured not long ago, and now it has become a vassal of the Vortex country. After witnessing the absolute power, the current monarch Feng Hua Nudao swore allegiance to Naruto just like Ghost Lantern Lord Wu Wei. Isn't that celebrity named Feng Hua Xiaoshui unwilling to be a monarch? It just so happens that she can be her celebrity with peace of mind. Yes, I will not let you down. Uchiha Xuanming said in a slightly trembling voice, unconsciously turned on the 3 Tomo Sharingan while excited, and spun wildly. Uchiha Xuanming worshipped Naruto almost to the point of belief. And there are not a few people like him in the Uchiha clan. By the way, the Kingdom of Waves can also establish sub-bases. Yes, the daimyo of Naruto had sworn allegiance to Naruto 3 days ago, as long as he could live a luxurious life again. Hey, all the daimyos and so-called nobles including the 5 great nations are already rotten, as long as it makes them happy, it doesn't matter anything. A bunch of celestial dragons who don't do anything but have fun. Naruto said and looked at the world map of Ninja World. The country below the snow country is. The next place, the country of ghosts. Notify Izumi and Daohuo to go to that country. But be careful, that monster called a monster is no less powerful than a tailed beast. Summoning the bliss box if necessary. They are also immortal. I believe Satoru will like that guy. In fact, apart from the chakra armor of Snow Country, Naruto is also very greedy for the equipment of Kong Nin, but unfortunately, there seems to be no Kong Nin in this world. Forget about those magical wind-style ninjas for now. Without Kato's harassment, the Naminokuni Bridge was officially completed a week later. At the same time, Kato's shipping company was officially owned by Naruto, and Uchiha Izumi and Inahiro officially arrived in the country of ghosts, and fought with a religious leader named Huang Quan. It was completed without any risk. Kakashi said lazily, and started the return journey with the members of the 7th class. Although there are powerful enemies like Zabuza, and I have experienced 2 ninja battles, I have hardly done anything, just like going on vacation. It's really easy to have a strong disciple around. The only shortcoming is that you learn too quickly and don't have a sense of accomplishment. Single quote. Kakashi's eyes fell on Sasuke, and after getting along with him during this period, he became more and more satisfied with himself as a disciple. It's just a replica of him back then. I think that's what Minato-sensei thought back then. Single quote. He found that Sasuke knew a lot of fire-style ninjutsu, but basically didn't know a few lightning-style ninjutsu, so he gave Sasuke his unique secret technique Raikage. As a result, Sasuke got started very quickly. In just 1 week, he mastered the basics of Raikage, Chidori, and trying to develop his own fighting style. At this rate, there should be no problem with the Chunin exam this time. Then Kakashi's eyes fell on Naruto and Karin. The strength of these two is not inferior to Sasuke, especially Naruto is even above him. Such a combination is more than enough to take the Jonin exam. It should be the strongest combination in this genin. Finally Kakashi's eyes fell on Haruno Sakura. That is. Since there was no oil bottle owner, the speed of the return trip was several times that of the previous trip, and they arrived in Konoha soon. Little Sakura. After Kakashi announced their disbandment, Naruto suddenly stopped Haruno Sakura. Would you like to go to Sasuke's house for dinner together? After all, it belongs to a small team. Never thought that Naruto would invite her to Sasuke's house. At this moment, Haruno Sakura only felt that happiness came too suddenly. Without even thinking about it, he agreed, yeah. Naruto, who squinted his eyes, smiled like a fox, and no one knew what his plan was. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.